gentlemen, the Bromo Seltzer Special. Bringing you radio's most thrilling mystery drama, The Adventures of Ellery Queen. Tonight, the makers of Bromo Seltzer bring you another thrilling adventure with Ellery Queen, the celebrated gentleman detective, in person. Ellery Queen invites you to match wits with him as he relates another story of a crime he alone unravels. Before revealing the solution, he stops the play, gives you a chance to solve the mystery. Our guest armchair detectives for this evening are film star Miss Jean Cagney and Mr. Peter Cusack, Executive Secretary of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis. And now, Ellery Queen, Master Detective and your host for the next half hour.
Thank you, Ernest Chappell, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about the exotic adventure of the Scarecrow and the Snowman. One July morning, some years before the war, Dad, Nicky, Sergeant Veely, and I were driving through the rich farm country of the Midwest. Suddenly, we rounded a curve and saw a red barn and a big clapboard farmhouse shaded by elm trees. Sergeant, stop.
What for, Maestro? We're in the middle of no place.
I want to take color movies at this farm.
Huh?
You and your movie camera, Ellery.
Try a shot of that scarecrow over there in the cornfield, son.
Oh, swell, Dad.
So that's a scarecrow. What do you know?
Get that farm in the picture, son.
There, Ellery, see? Walking toward the Scarecrow.
Yes, very nice.
Wait a minute. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
What's he yelling at us?
Yelling for help, Nicky.
Oh.
Come on, let's get over there. Hey, farmer. What's the matter?
What's wrong?
Why, he's the color of death.
It's bleeding. It's bleeding.
What's bleeding?
Scarecrow.
That Scarecrow. It is bleeding.
Them rags. That's Straw Kitty. That's our regular scarecrow.
And how could a scarecrow bleed?
Because it's not a scarecrow, you clerk.
It's a man dressed in the Scarecrow's duds.
Let's get him off this pole.
Right.
Okay, I
He's
got
been
it.
tied to the stake by his belt.
But how the old five tarnation did he get here?
Don't you know? Oh, easy now. That's it, Dad.
Badly wounded, Ellery. Unconscious. Hey, you, farmer. What's this farm? Who are you?
This is the Mayfield place. I'm Josh Bullen. I run the place for old man Mayfield.
Where's the nearest doctor, Mr. Bullen?
Dairyville Hospital, 6-7 miles from here.
We'll have to rush him there. Come on, Dad. It's going to be a race with death.
That country doctor's certainly taking his time in there. Just how was the man hurt, Inspector?
Stabbed twice in the chest, Nicky.
I wonder who he is. Not an identifying mark on him.
Yes, quite a mystery. Mr. Bullen,
Yes, Mr.
who lives on the Mayfield farm beside yourself?
Well, now, there's me and my wife, Josie Mayfield. We've been married 4 years now, and Josie's pa, old man Mayfield. It's really his place, but I run it for him.
Don't tell me there's no Ma Mayfield, Mr. Bullen.
It sure is, Miss Porter. Josie's ma, my mother-in-law. Wonderful woman. Cooks, keeps house, helps out in the fields. Strong as a plowmare, Ma Mayfield is. I sort of wish Josie took after her ma.
Your wife, Mr. Bullen, what's wrong with her?
Josie's been sickly, Mr. Queen. Ever since our baby died. Stays abed most times. Ain't got the strength to crawl downstairs near. Oh, say, here's Doc Jenkins.
How's your patient?
Will he pull through, Dr. Jenkins?
Yes, he will. Must be made of iron.
I'd like to talk to him, Doctor.
Can't now, Mr. Queen. He's unconscious. Say, Josh, who is he, do you know?
Darned if I do, Doc. Never seen him before.
Me neither. Huh. Thought he knew everyone in the county, too.
Doctor, I'd like to photograph your patient.
I know it.
Take his picture? Well, I imagine he'll have to get the sheriff's permission.
But it's attempted murder.
Ellery, take your photo.
And, Doctor, no one's to see or talk to the victim till we can question him.
All right.
Please notify us at the local hotel the moment he regains consciousness.
Yeah.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the beginning of our mystery. We'll be back in just a moment to tell you more. But first, Ernest Chappell.
Maybe you think you've got a tough job. Yeah, but Mr. Willis C. Latchaw of Spring City, Pennsylvania, has a job that really puts the pressure on. Here's what he writes.
I'm one of the guards in an important aircraft engine company. We've got to see that nothing and nobody gets into our plant who's not supposed to. Picture us on a 12-hour watch, every nerve tense, ready for anything that might happen, when up pops one of those pesky headaches. The boys on my shift know how to handle that, though. We make a beeline for the plant dispensary or first aid station for our old friend Bromo Seltzer. We found there's nothing better for quick relief from headache and jittery nerves.
And you're right, Mr. Willis. Bromo Seltzer fights headache 3 ways. Helps you feel a lot better fast. So the next time you've got a common sick headache, friends, Try Bromo Seltzer, won't you? Then write and tell us your own experience. Just address your letter to Ellery Queen in care of the station to which you are listening. And now back to our story. Ellery has photographed the mysterious Scarecrow Man and had the photo developed. Now, several hours later, the Queens are driving Josh Bullen back to the Mayfield farm.
Henry, think someone in the Mayfield place carved that fellow up?
I don't know, Dad. Keep your eyes open.
Well, here we are.
Whew. Isn't it hot?
Man, what I'd give for a sidle of beer.
Beer? I'll get Ma Mayfield to fix you the finest drink of ginger beer you ever tasted.
Stop, baby! Oh, who's that crazy-looking old man on the porch?
What's he waving that shotgun at us for?
It's all right, Pa. I know these folks.
Don't get scared. That's just my father-in-law.
Mr. Mayfield, if you'll put that shotgun down.
I know you, Jonathan, minute I clapped eyes on you. Stand where you be.
Pa, this ain't Jonathan. It's Mr. Queen.
It's true, Jonathan, Josh. You boy make tracks for a plug you day.
Hey, the old squirrel ain't kidding.
You won't get, eh?
He's going to shoot.
Henry, Duck, come on. Get behind the car, all of you.
All right, I warned you.
Oh, he's shooting.
What's the matter with
Hey,
Henry?
Pa!
For heaven's sake, Mr. Bullen, who does he think I am? Who's Jonathan?
My wife's brother, old man Mayfield's son.
Ma!
Who's the shooting?
Land of mercy, Paul, you give me that gun.
Come on, I'm going to shoot Jonathan dead.
You're going to march up to the attic to your room, Paul Mayfield.
No, I'm not.
Sorry. The old lady's okay. See the way she took that gun away from the old bazooka?
Sorry as all get out, folks. You see, Jonathan Mayfield got into a heap of trouble, and his pa said he'd kill him if he ever showed his face around the farm again. Old man's out of his head.
Why don't you put him away, Bullen?
Ma won't hear of it, Inspector. Besides, Pa's quiet most times. Come on into the house. Ma, that you?
Yeah, Josh. Well, Paul's all right now. Come on in.
Thank you,
folks.
ma'am.
Ma, these folks are fretting for some of your extra special ginger beer.
Josh, you take him into the parlor, and I'll be right in with a big pitcher. Just make yourselves right to home, folks.
Now, this way, folks.
Thank you.
What? Why, Josie.
Josh? Oh, hello.
Downstairs, Josie? Was sitting in the parlor all by yourself. Folks, this is my wife, Josie Mayfield Bullen.
How are you, Mrs. Bullen?
Oh, I'm so glad. It's so very nice having you.
Sit down, folks.
Yeah, guess you will.
My, Josie talks mighty fine, eh? Had 2 years of state college, Josie did.
This girl is so pretty. Are you married? Why, no, I'm not. I am. I had a baby once. It was the cutest baby. She had blue eyes and the softest blonde hair.
Now, Josie, you know we don't talk about the baby. Ma, where's that ginger beer?
Come in, Josh, come in. Well, what's everybody so quiet for? Josie, have you been talking about the baby again?
It was a girl, Mom. Remember? Oh, the sweetest little girl.
This place gives
Now,
me
now.
the cheapers, Inspector. Not this girl here.
Henry, show him that photo and let's beat him.
Come on, folks, now. Come on, try some of this.
Oh,
Just
thank
like
you,
it
Mrs.
will.
Mayfield.
There you
Oh, by
are.
the way, do you recognize the man in this photograph?
This fella?
Hmm?
Nope, can't say as I do. Josie, drink?
No, thanks, Mom. I was going to name my baby Mary Ellen, you know.
Ellery, please. Let's go.
We're talking photos now. Here's one of Jonathan, Josie's brother.
Josh, put that album away.
Please, may I see it, Mr. Bullen?
Sure.
Dad, come over here.
Here, miss. Care to give you some ginger beer.
It's not the wounded man, Dad.
Nope. No resemblance to the stranger at all. What do you say we go?
No, Dad. We're staying in Berryville till I find out who that Scarecrow man is and who tried to murder him.
Finally, 3 days later, Dr. Jenkins said we could question the stranger. But when we went to the man's room at the hospital, we found that he'd escaped through a window. It was Ellery hopping. The Scarecrow man gone, and we still didn't know who he was or who had tried to murder him.
Well, we hung around trying to find someone who recognized the Scarecrow man from Ellery's picture of him, but no one knew him, so we gave up. 6 months later, January it was We got a letter from the Dairyville Justice of the Peace, an old fellow named Clem Hunter. Hunter confessed that he'd lied about not recognizing the stranger, and he wanted to clear his conscience. He wrote us, "You certainly won't find it out from anybody else, because me and the town clerk, who's dead, were the only ones who knew who this fellow was. If you'll come see me, I'll tell you the whole story."
But 2 days before we got back to Dairyville, old Clem Hunter up and kicked the bucket. Pneumonia. Boy, you should have seen the maestro. Our last hope of solving the mystery 6 feet under. But the maestro says, now that we're here, I'm not going back to New York without taking another whack at the Mayfield. Well, we drive over to the Mayfield farm in practically a blizzard. The roads were so bad, Ma Mayfield makes us stay overnight.
Late that same afternoon, the storm subsided a bit, and Ellery and I went outside to find Josh Bullen hammering away at a thick pole driven into the frozen earth right off the porch.
Hi, Mr. Bullen. What are you doing?
Making a snowman, Mr. Queen.
A snowman?
That's steady enough, I reckon. Now to pack more snow around it.
Oh, may I help, Mr. Bullen?
Sure thing, Miss Porter. Pitch right in.
By George, that looked like fun. Move over, Nicky.
Now, hurry, I asked first.
Seeing this pole, Josh, stuck in the ground this way.
Sort of reminds you of the fellow we found hanging in the cornfield last summer, don't it?
Yes. Ever hear anything more about him after he escaped from the Dairyville hospital, Josh?
Nary word. Say, this is coming along fine. You make his head, Miss Porter.
Oh, fine.
Hope Josie likes him. She's watching from her bedroom window up there. Hi, Josie. Like it, Mrs. B?
Oh, Josh, he's lovely.
Well, wait, he ain't finished. He still needs eyes, nose, and a mouth.
And a pipe, Josh. Stick a pipe in his mouth. Oh, how my baby would have loved him.
Baby, she's still...
Don't pay no mind, folks. Sure, Josie, pipe it is.
Yes, who ever heard of a snowman without a
A
pipe?
corn cob, Josh.
Yeah, gotta have a corn cob. Oh, blame it, I left my cob up in my bedroom this morning. Of course, Paul Mayfield's got a raft of them. Keeps all his cobs up in that attic room of his. But I guess we better not bother Paul. Might start shooting at you for Jonathan again, eh, Mr. Queen?
Yeah.
Oh, but gee, here's that other corn cob of mine right here in my jeans. Forgot all about the second one. There, Josie, how's he look?
Oh, he's a beautiful snowman with that pipe, Josh.
Oh, hi, Inspector Sergeant. Look at this.
Hey, that's some production.
A snowman. Where's the maestro?
Oh, it was right here a second ago.
Here I am, Nicky.
Oh,
Him and his movie camera.
Yes, Sergeant. I remembered it was in the car.
Gonna take movies of this snowman, son?
Dad, you're a mind reader. Who's there?
Who's doing that? Somebody's at the door of this iceberg they call a bedroom.
Climb it a bit, son. See who it is.
Oh, must be 10 below zero in here. Yes, who is it?
Ellery, it's me.
Nicky crying. Oh, wait, Nicky. Floor. Coming.
I just saw it.
Saw what, Nicky?
Annie. Why are you crying?
I couldn't sleep. I got up and looked out my bedroom window at the snowman in the front yard and...
Nicky, stop. What did you see?
The snowman. He's bleeding.
That's noisy. You want to wake the others?
Okay, Inspector.
There, see?
A red brown stain all over the snowman's chest. Ellery, what in thunderation do you think you're doing?
Photographing a snowman, Dad. Lucky this moonlight's so bright. Now, let's have a look.
Well, if that ain't blood, real blood, I'll turn in my badge.
Somebody's idea of a joke.
Nicky, go back to bed.
Oh, no.
Go on, Nicky.
All right, Inspector.
Joke, huh? Some joke.
Maestro, it's a dead man under this snowman.
I thought so. Strapped to the pole by his belt?
Yeah, just like that scarecrow guy last summer.
2 ugly stab wounds in his chest, son.
Brush the snow off from around his head, Sergeant.
Yeah,
Lord,
it's the same guy.
the man who escaped from the Dairyville hospital.
The Scarecrow Man.
I isn't really back. He freezes as hard as this corpse in the front yard here. Again, all identification marks gone, drat it.
How long do you figure he's been dead?
Well, I'd say since late last night, son.
Yes, about the time the snow stopped. We slept through the whole thing.
Peavy,
Yeah, Buster?
mushing from Nome? Well, what'd you find out? Where's the single set of tracks leading up to the snowman come from?
The Mayfield barn, Inspector. Blood in there. And signs of a fight.
Murdered in the barn, huh? And the killer carried the dead man to this spot, knocked down Josh Bullen's snowman, slung the corpse to the pole with his own belt, and rebuilt a snowman around it.
Why do you suppose he did that now, Maestro?
To delay discovery of the crime, Sergeant, the killer was afraid of us. By the time the snow melted, we'd long since have left the neighborhood.
It'd have worked, too, if the dead man's blood hadn't soaked through the snow. Peavy, was there any clue in the barn to the killer?
I looked my eyes out, Inspector. No dice.
And these tracks don't tell us anything. Killer wore huge galoshes. Could have been anyone's.
But aren't there any other tracks, really, to show where the killer came from or which way he went?
Nary a track. Anywhere's on the Mayfield property.
Dad, that means the victim came to the barn during the snowstorm, as did his murderer. Then more snow fell and wiped out all the tracks they'd made.
So by the time the killer lugged his victim's body from the barn to the front yard here, all he left was this one set of tracks.
Hey, wait. Then where are the killer's tracks escaping from the yard here after he put the body in the snowman? There ain't no escaping track.
Sergeant, you've hit it. The only place the killer could have escaped to without leaving further tracks in the snow is up onto the porch of the Mayfield farmhouse here.
Say, yeah. He could have made it from the snowman to the porch in one big step.
But, Henry, that means the killer is one of the people in this farmhouse.
Yes, Dad. At last we know the stranger was murdered by one of the Mayfield tribe. So let's wake him up and find out which one.
Well, we went to work on the Mayfields. We might just as well have saved our breath. They all claimed they didn't know a thing about the corpse and the snowman. So we turned the whole mess over to the local sheriff and headed for home. You don't like to remember Ellery the next few weeks. Here it is. Snap your head off for a look. Haul out his reels of movie film that he shot on our 2 trips to Dairyville and run them over and over. So anyway, one night, he was showing his shots of the blood-stained snowman when...
Nicky, stop the machine. Sergeant, put the lights on.
Yeah.
Why the excitement, son?
Now, what corpse?
Now I know who killed that man.
You know who killed him. But, Maestro, we don't even know who he was.
You mean the victim?
Yeah.
I've known that for some time.
What?
You have?
Not his name, of course. But it wasn't the victim's identity which held me up. It was his killer's identity.
And now you know that, too? But how can you, Ellery? All you've done is run the Snowman movie.
They're what told me, Nicky. Didn't you notice a difference between the Josh Bullen snowman and the snowman the killer built around the corpse?
No.
The snow at the base of the killer's snowman had been shoveled up. Don't you see? After concealing the body inside the snowman, the killer then began poking in the snow at its feet with a shovel.
He'd lost something in the snow and was looking for it.
But what, Ellery?
My films even answer that. There's an object in the shots of the original snowman that's missing from the shots of the made-over snowman.
Something missing? What, Maestro?
Josh Bullen's corncob pipe.
Hey, that's right. When we found the made-over snowman with the corpse inside, the pipe wasn't there.
Exactly. The killer dropped the pipe accidentally and shoveled frantically around trying to find it. He never did find it. Otherwise, he'd have stuck it back in the snowman's mouth.
Yeah. So we'd think it was still the same snowman and not get suspicious and find the body.
That's all very well, Mr. Queen. But what's the missing corncob got to do with the killer of the stranger?
The missing corncob, Nicky, tells me who the killer was. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have the mystery of the Scarecrow and the Snowman. Have you puzzled it out yet? Well, let's compare solutions with our guest armchair detective. Nicky, will you introduce our guest, please?
Well, Ellery, our first guest tonight is Miss Jean Cagney, the famous screen star and sister of Jimmy Cagney. Our second guest is Mr. Peter Cusack, Executive Secretary of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis. All right, Elvis.
Thank you, Nicky. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take a moment here to remind you that the March of Dimes to fight infantile paralysis is on right now. Won't you help protect America's children from this dread disease by sending your dimes and dollars, as much as you can afford, to President Roosevelt, Washington, D.C. Thank you. And now, Miss Cagney, who is the murderer?
I'd say it was Ma Mayfield.
Have you any reason?
Well, I would suspect that Ma Mayfield wouldn't have a second pipe on hand.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think she'd be strong enough to be able to commit the crime and to reconstruct the snowman.
Thank you, Miss Cagney. And Mr. Cusack, who do you think the murderer is?
I think the murderer was Josh Mayfield, Ellery.
Why do you think that?
I don't know what his motive was, but the clue of the missing corncob pipe makes me feel that it was he, because he referred to the fact that Pa Mayfield had this collection, and Pa Mayfield being very fussy and irritable, I would think that Josh would not want to lose the pipe.
You mean Josh Bullen, the husband of Josie Mayfield?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Cusack and Miss Cagney. We'll let you know in just a moment whether you've hit the solution to our mystery. But first, here's Ernest Chappell, who can't seem to get his mind off sabotage.
And it is sabotage when a common sick headache makes you lose out on work or pleasure. You can't do a first-class job or enjoy your fun when you've got pounding head pains, plus the upset stomach and jittery nerves that may accompany a common sick headache. And that's why I say the next time you're feeling miserable with a headache, step up to the nearest drugstore fountain and ask for a Bromo Seltzer. Now, 10 cents is all it costs to try Bromo Seltzer. And once you experience the quick, effective relief it gives, you'll want to get a bottle for your home medicine chest.
Harry, you said you knew who that dead stranger was.
Well, Dad, remember your mentioning that we got a letter from the Derryville Justice of the Peace?
Clem Hunter, who wrote saying that he knew who this stranger was?
Yes. Now, what could a Justice of the Peace and a town clerk know that other members of a rural community might not know? Well, what do we usually associate with Justices of the Peace?
Marriages. He performs it.
Yes. And marriages also involve a town clerk, who probably issues a license and certainly records the marriage in the town roll.
So you figure the stranger had been married in Derryville years before.
Right. But who else would know of the stranger's marriage? Only the Mayfields, because the killer is one of them. So we must ask, what woman at the Mayfield farm was of marriageable age? Only one. Josie, the daughter.
Sure, she's married to Josh Bullen.
Conclusion, Josie and the stranger had been married before Josie's marriage to Josh Bullen. A secret marriage, because no one in Derryville was able to recognize the stranger from that photo I took of him at the hospital last summer. So it was reasonable to conclude that one of the Mayfield tribe had killed the stranger to keep his secret marriage to Josie from becoming public knowledge.
Josie and the stranger elope or something. Old man Mayfield finds out and either drives the man away or buys him off. Must have been something pretty raw about the man that the Mayfields couldn't stomach.
So when they thought Josie's husband would never turn up again, Josie never bothered to get a divorce.
Then when Josie married Josh Bullen, she committed bigamy.
Yes. Well, the husband did turn up again last July, probably with demand for more money, which the Mayfields couldn't or wouldn't meet. So one of the families stabbed him early that Sunday morning and hid the body in the cornfield scarecrow till it could be disposed of permanently at nightfall. But we came along during the day, found the stranger still alive, took him to the hospital, and he escaped. And the one who knew Josie's bigamous secret was loose again.
Then why did he come back in January?
We'll never know exactly, Sergeant. Anyway, the same Mayfield murdered him for keeps this time and hid the body in the snowman so that we'd fail to discover the crime and leave.
But who is the killer, son? And how do you know?
The missing corncob pipe tells me, Dad.
The corncob pipe?
We know the killer wanted a corncob and hadn't located the one he'd lost in the deep snow. Because if he had found it, he'd have stuck it back in the snowman's mouth, and he didn't. But that fact clears Josh Bullen and old Pa Mayfield.
Clears Bullen and his father-in-law? How so, son?
Because either man could easily have got another corncob to stick into the snowman's mouth, Dad.
How do you figure that out, Ellie?
Well, we know that Josh Bullen had a second corncob up in his bedroom. And we also know that Pa Mayfield kept his corncobs in his attic room. Either man could have procured a corncob to replace the lost one merely by stealing up to his own room in the middle of the night while the rest of us were asleep. Since the killer didn't replace the lost pipe, it means he didn't have one to replace it with and couldn't get another from his own room.
But, Maestro, that leaves only...
The two women of the house.
Precisely. Could the murderer have been Josie, Josh's wife? No. It was a man-sized job to carry the dead body from the barn to the front yard, demolish the original snowman, tie the corpse to the pole, and build a new snowman around it. Josie is an invalid, bedridden most of the time, so Josie couldn't possibly have done it.
The old lady.
Yes, Sergeant. Ma Mayfield. Did Ma Mayfield have the strength to commit both these strenuous crimes? Oh, yes. Josh told us she even helped with the farming. In fact, Josh said she was as strong as a plowmare. Yes, Ma Mayfield killed her daughter's husband to protect Josie's reputation in that rural community and save what was left of the poor girl's life. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the solution to the mystery. I want to thank Miss Cagney and Mr. Cusack for appearing as guest armchair detectives this evening. We want especially to compliment Miss Cagney on her skill in solving the crime. We have for both Miss Cagney and Mr. Cusack a personal gift from Bromo Seltzer, also an autographed copy of my latest mystery anthology, The Female of the Species, and a subscription to Ellery Queen's Mystery Magazine.
While we're waiting for Ellery to tell us something about next week's mystery, come on there, swing aboard our famous talking train.
Fight the headache, three ways.
Now, you couldn't ask for better advice than that. Fight headache 3 ways with Bromo Seltzer. Your own experience will tell you it isn't always just the pounding in your head that makes you feel so miserable. It's also the upset stomach and the jumpy nerves that may accompany the headache. And that's why we say, for that kind of 3-way misery, take a Bromo Seltzer. Remember, it fights common sick headache these 3 ways.
Bromo Seltzer quickly relieves headache pain. Bromo Seltzer helps settle upset stomach. Bromo Seltzer helps calm jumpy nerves.
Now, you can take Bromo Seltzer while it's still fizzing or after it settles down. Use it only as directed on the label. For persistent or recurring headaches, see your doctor.
But when it's a common sick headache that's got you down, take this tip from our educated train.
Fight the headache, 3 ways.
And now, Ellery, let's hear about next week.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, next week we tell you a ghost story. Yes, a ghost story with a real ghost that seems immune to bullets. Don't miss next week, Adventure of the Family Ghost. Our guests will be Martha Scott and Mark Conley.
And don't forget the other great Bromo Seltzer show, friends, Vox Pop, the show that travels America. Next Monday, Vox Pop takes you to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company at New Haven, Connecticut. Consult your local paper for the time and station. Music for The Adventures of Ellery Queen is by Charles Paul. This is Ernest Chappell reminding you to catch the Bromo Seltzer special again next week, same time, same station.
Fight the headache, 3 ways.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Here she comes, ladies and gentlemen, the Bromo Seltzer Special. Bringing you radio's most thrilling mystery drama, The Adventures of Ellery Queen. Tonight, the makers of Bromo Seltzer bring you another thrilling adventure with Ellery Queen, the celebrated gentleman detective in person. Ellery Queen invites you to match wits with him as he relates another story of a crime he alone unravels. Before revealing the solution, he stops the play, gives you a chance to solve the mystery. Our guest armchair detectives for this evening are Miss Genevieve Bean, a member of the United States Cadet Nurse Corps, and Mr. Peter Cusack, Executive Secretary of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis. And now, Ellery Queen, Master Detective and your host for the next half hour.
Thank you, Ernest Chappell, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think tonight's mystery will keep you guessing. It's about a strange chain of anonymous letters. I call it The Adventure of the Mischief Maker.
Hubert,
Yes, my dear?
put that newspaper down and finish your breakfast.
Oh, yes, of course, dear. Bloat was jolly good this morning. My dear, for an American, you really perform miracles with a bloater.
For an American... Hubert Lester, you've been in this country long enough to stop being so patronizing.
Now, Pet, I wasn't being anything of the sort.
I suppose I ought to get down on my knees to you because you're deigned to marry an American girl.
I wouldn't put it that way.
Married 4 months. Already you're reading newspapers at my breakfast table.
But, darling, I was merely looking up the situation in tea. When Sir Eustace sent me here from London to take charge of the New York branch of Spofford Tea Limited, he said to me, Lester, old chap, he said...
Looking up the situation in tea, were you?
Mm-hmm.
You were looking up that movie star's photo, that's what. That hussy with the legs.
My love, I just happened to glance at it in passing.
Seems to me you've just happened to glance at an awful lot of females, Hubert, since we've been married.
Oh, what utter nonsense, my dear. And even if I wanted to, which is rot, of course, you know I couldn't risk the scandal, my dear. I'd be given the sack, you know. Sir Eustace won't brook the least breath of scandal.
What about you and your secretary?
Me and my secretary? That spindle shanked, very beaten antique, my dear. Now, really,
well, maybe I'm wrong. Eat your bloater, dear.
Of course, darling. Oh, by the way, what was that letter that arrived in the Morning Post for you?
Well, this letter? Addressed to Mrs. Hubert Lester, 230 Hatton Avenue, New York City. Well, whoever wrote it certainly had to fix his typewriter. Broken letters, out of line, some all smudgy.
Well, who's it from, Pet?
Let's see. Mrs. Lester. Your husband, Hubert, is... I knew it.
Huh?
I knew it. Hubert, this proves it.
Proves it? Proves what?
You snake. You worm. You...
I need to say, but... Here, let me see that. Your husband is in love with his secretary. He's leading a double life. Signed, a friend. But I mean to say that...
Weatherby.
But, my love, you don't put credence in gossips who don't even sign their names. I scarcely know what my secretary looks like.
Oh, I'll bet.
Now, darling, I give you my sacred word.
Your sacred word. Out of my way, you Judas.
But, Pet, where are you going?
I'm going to Reno. You time a respectable American girl, will you? For Hubert Lester, I'll get a divorce from you so fast that precious Sir Eustace of yours will think his New York representative was tarred and feathered and boiled in oil.
Mr. Plunkett, to meet my son, the secretary, Nicky Porter.
How do you do?
Mr. Plunkett came into headquarters just this morning, Ellery. He's back this morning for a report.
A report on what, Dad?
My son's a sucker for screwy cases, Mr. Plunkett. Tell him.
Well, Mr. Queen, it's sure a Lulu. Here, read this letter that come yesterday morning.
Read it, Nicky, aloud.
Goodness, what a bad machine this was typed on. Broken letters, dirty, out of line.
Never mind the typing, Miss Porter. Just read it.
It's addressed to the president of the West Side Bank, 315 Hatton Avenue, New York. It says, Dear Sir, the rent collector for your bank, Ethan A. Plunkett, is a thief. He is stealing rent money on properties the bank owns.
Signed, a friend.
You're the Ethan A. Plunkett this anonymous letter refers to?
That's me, Mr. Queen.
Well, I'm sure the president of the bank you work for doesn't believe this charge, Mr. Plunkett.
He don't, Miss Porter, seeing he's me.
He's you.
Mr. Plunkett's only been posing as the realty representative for West Side Bank, Nicky. Secretly, Mr. Plunkett's the president. Owns the bank lock, stock, and barrel and all its properties.
Protective coloration, Mr. Queen. I got a slew of hungry relatives. If they knew I owned a bank, they'd make a pauper of me in no time.
But, Ellery, if Mr. Plunkett owns the bank, how could he be stealing rent money from the bank?
Obviously, the writer of this letter didn't know Mr. Plunkett owns the bank. Just tried to get him into trouble. Some kind.
That isn't our son. Petey.
Yes, Inspector?
Come in here. You see, one of the properties Mr. Plunkett owns is a 5-family brownstone in the west side.
I live there myself, Mr. Queen.
Oh, Petey.
Yeah, Inspector.
Tell Ellery what you found out at Mr. Plunkett's house.
Oh, that cockeyed kiss. You see, Maestro, the inspector sent me over to 230 Hatton Avenue yesterday to see if anybody else living there got one of these letters signed A. Friend.
Someone else got one, Sergeant?
Yep. One of Mr. Plunkett's tenants and neighbors there is people named Lester. Mrs. Lester's hitched to this Hubert Lester, a British who's been in this country around 6 months. A playboy type. I mean, he'd like to be.
I know. A friend wrote Mrs. Lester that hubby's being untrue to her.
On the nose, Nicky.
So Mrs. Lester packed up, and now she's heading for Reno.
Nice family house, Mr. Plunkett, who are the other tenants at 230 Hatton Avenue?
Well, there's Miss Bertha Lamb, an old maid.
And a bachelor named Hodge, Lewis Hodge.
And a family named Drayton, husband, wife, and 15-year-old daughter. Drayton's a psychiatrist.
Mr. Plunkett, Mr. and Mrs. Hubert Lester, Miss Bertha Lamb Spinster, Mr. Lewis Hodge Bachelor, and Dr. Drayton and family. I've got it all down, Ellis.
Fine, Nicky. Mr. Plunkett, does anyone in the house bear a grudge against you and the Lesters?
Mighty funny you asked that, Mr. Queen. My janitor there, Joe's a big sorehead. Pretty tough egg, Joe. Born on Hester Street in New York here. He'd have been a gangster, I guess, if he'd had more brains.
What's Joe sore about, Mr. Plunkett?
Well, seems like Joe didn't get Christmas presents enough from most of the tenants, including me. It slipped my mind.
So Joe sends anonymous letters?
It's hardly a laughing matter, Nicky. One of these letters has already separated a husband and wife.
Yes. Anonymous letters have done a lot of mischief in this world. They've even caused death.
Dad, I think we'll look into this, and we'll begin by asking Dr. Drayton, Miss Lamb, and Mr. Hodge if they've received letters from the mischief maker who signs himself a friend. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the beginning of our mystery. We'll be back in just a moment to tell you more, but first, Ernest Chappell.
Oh, for the life of a fireman. Bells clanging, men sliding down poles, fire trucks racing through traffic. Nothing but thrills and excitement. Oh, but that's not the way Mr. Thomas Byrne of Elmhurst, Long Island tells it. He writes,
We're called out on the average of twice every day. Some of the fires don't amount to much, but when we get in on a real blaze, then I've got to be quick on the trigger, ready for anything. Besides working under a nervous strain, there are the discomforts of going through heavy smoke and fumes and getting drenched by water from the hoses. Sometimes, after a session like that, I've got a pounding headache. My stomach feels upset and my nerves are on edge. But I can count on Bromo Seltzer to help me feel better fast. A great many of us down at the firehouse keep a bottle of Bromo Seltzer in our lockers all the time.
and that's a mighty good idea for everybody. So, friends, tomorrow, get a bottle of Bromo Seltzer for your medicine chest. Then the next time you're suffering from a common sick headache, you'll know where to go for quick, effective relief. And now back to our story an hour later. The Queens, Nicky, and Sergeant Dealey are standing before an apartment door at 230 Hatton Avenue, New York City. Inspector Queen has rung the bell marked B.V. Drayton, M.D. Suddenly.
Yes? Dr. Drayton?
Yes?
May we see you a moment privately?
Oh, four of you? Oh, I'm pretty busy.
Police.
Oh. Come in. Sit down, please.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Now, what's the matter?
Dr. Drayton, we're investigating a slight case of anonymous letteritis.
Anonymous Oh.
Two people living in this house got anonymous letters yesterday morning.
Did you receive such a letter, Dr. Drayton?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. Let's see it, Doctor.
Very well. Here.
Same broken type, out of line, smudgy.
Typed on the same machine as the other two.
Dr. Drayton, your 15-year-old daughter, Sissy, is in serious danger. Take a tip from a friend. Dr. Drayton, why didn't you report this to the police?
Your own daughter in danger.
Nonsense. My wife was frightened, too, but as a psychiatrist, I'm quite familiar with anonymous letter writing.
Really, Doctor? You mean it's a psychopathic manifestation?
Very often. We call it anonymous graphomania. It's a form of hysteria. Not a crime or a prank, but an illness. The writer of this letter is probably a neurotic, maladjusted, emotionally unstable individual whom it would be criminal to prosecute. Well, I've handled lots of them.
Very interesting, Dr. Drayton. Haven't you found that anonymous letter writers are often of a certain type, age, and sex?
Well, yes.
What type, Larry?
I'm sure Dr. Drayton's more competent to explain.
If it's a case of true anonymous graphomania, why, the writer is often an adolescent.
Of which sex, Doctor?
Female. Neurotic, adolescent female.
Why is it that every time something bad happens, men blame women? I'll bet just as many nasty boys.
Nicky, Doctor, we'll keep this letter if we may.
I'd prefer... Yes, of course.
Good day, Dr. Drayton.
Good day.
Thanks, Doc.
Good day.
Say, you know what I think?
Not yet, Sergeant. So that's letter number 3. Dad, let's call Miss Bertha Lamb, spinster, and see if she's got number 4. Miss Lamb.
Go on, Innie.
Here, madam, keep that door open. We're from police headquarters.
I bought a ticket to the policeman's ball.
We're not selling anything, Miss Lamb.
You let us come into your apartment for a few minutes,
I
madam.
will not. How do I know you're a policeman? What's this painted girl doing with you? Painted... Why not?
Oh, Nicky. Sergeant, show Miss Lamb your shield.
Here. If you want to see the inspectors, his is gold. Satisfied?
Well, come in. What do you want?
Have you received an anonymous letter, Miss Lamb?
Anonymous letter? I should say not.
You haven't.
3 of your neighbors have received such letters, Miss Lamb.
Well, considering my neighbors, I'm not surprised. You take the Lesters, that Englishman, and his vulgar American wife. She's a nasty woman. And as for her husband, you just let me catch Mr. Hubert Lester making eyes at me.
At you, Miss Lamb?
Well, he better not. I have the blood of American pioneers in my veins.
What about Mr. Plunkett?
That awful Yank rent collector? He lives in one of the apartments, so you'd think he'd see to it my bathroom plumbing stick. But not Ethan Plunkett. Why, from the way he won't spend their money, you'd think he owned the bank.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
And Dr. Drayton and his family, Miss Lamb.
Oh, horrible people. Mrs. Drayton's an absolute pill. Comes from the Midwest somewhere. Always knocking New York. And Dr. Drayton, they're both from the same hometown. Why, he ought to be rolling pills back where he come from. And nosy? I don't know how many times he's asked me about my dreams.
I should tell him your dreams, Lammy Pie. Painted girl.
Miss Lamb,
And that 15-year-old daughter of theirs, Sissy. If ever I saw goon in my life, that child is one. Absolutely weird. Very homely. Wears thick glasses, stays home all the time, reading nasty books. I tell you, that girl gives me the shivers.
What do you
if you
give
ask
her?
me, I
Miss
think
Lamb.
the only person in this entire house fit to be a decent person's neighbor is that grand Mr. Hodge. So nice. A bachelor, you know, keeps to himself, poor man. So shy.
Thanks.
You know, I've often wondered why...
Well, thanks, Miss Lamb. We've got to be going.
But let me tell you about Mr. Hodge. He never throws wild parties.
Let's go for Pete's sake.
He's a perfect gentleman, so I know that he would...
So Miss Bertha Lamb didn't get a letter.
Interesting. Let's see if her dear Mr. Hodge did.
Bring Hodge's bell again, Ellery.
Right there.
Ellery, where'd you send Sergeant Veely?
Downstairs to fetch Joe the janitor.
Where is this Hodge, anyway?
Not home. We'll have to come back later, Dad.
And I tell you, you ain't gonna. Give me that.
Look, don't get tough, Joe. Hey, folks, look what I found.
Billy, what are you doing with that typewriter?
Whose is it? Where'd you find it, Sergeant?
In a trash bin in the basement when I went down to get this tough mug janitor. I almost passed it up as a piece of junk.
Certainly an old baby, Ellery. Think that's the typewriter?
No doubt about it, Nicky. This is the machine used to type those anonymous letters. Yes,
You,
identical
Joe.
characters, out of line.
How did typewriter come to be in your basement, this house?
And who are you, Grandpa?
Oh, wise guy. Ellie!
Cut. I don't know. I never seen it before.
Yes, you do. Joe, did you receive an anonymous letter yesterday morning?
What's that?
A letter with no name, just signed a friend.
I don't get no letters. I'm just the janitor.
You're just smart enough to play dumb.
Joe,
Yeah?
how'd you make out this Christmas?
I'll bet you got oodles of presents from people in the house. Yeah.
Presents? Nah, they're all tightwads. That Berta Lamb's ain't. She give me $2, but not another dime from nobody else. Be a good janitor. Work like a horse. Comes Christmas time, nothing. I got a good mind not to collect that garbage.
Yes, we heard you were peeved, Joe. Billy, send this typewriter downtown to be filed. Let's go to some restaurant around here where we can have some lunch and talk this pesky case over.
Oh, here's Sergeant Veely back.
Phone headquarters, Sergeant.
What's your report, Billy?
That's like Ellery figured, Inspector. The boys didn't dig up a single other letter signed A friend anywhere else in the neighborhood. Now let me eat with you.
So only the tenants at 230 Hatton Avenue got anonymous letters. Well, son, with the typewriter found in the basement of the house where the writer tried to dispose of it, and the basement being accessible only to the tenants.
Yes, Dad, it means that the letter writer is one of the tenants of 230 Hatton Avenue.
Think that somebody go to all that trouble just maliciously to make mischief.
Well, how do we know? Maybe he's only making it look like crank stuff.
To hide some other motive? Could be, really. Oh, say, there's Mr. Plunkett just walking in.
Mr. Plunkett.
Hey? Oh. Hi, folks.
Hi.
Just come in for some lunch. My bank's just on the next block, you know.
Well, find out who's writing those letters, Inspector?
We're still working on it, Mr. Plunkett. We haven't even been able to see all your tenants at 230 Hatton Avenue. Lewis Hodge didn't answer our ring. What do you know about Hodge, Mr. Plunkett?
Nice fella, Mr. Queen. Quiet, minds his own business. I wish all my tenants was like that fella Hodge.
I wonder if he got one of those letters.
Hodge? Of course he did.
You did?
Oh, is that so? Didn't I mention it? Thought I did. Must be getting old.
How do you know Hodge got one of the letters, Mr. Plunkett?
Because I saw it in his letterbox yesterday morning with my own eyes, Inspector. Couldn't mistake that typewriting. Same's on the envelope I got.
Then, of course, you don't know what it said, Mr. Plunkett. What's Lewis Hodge do for a living?
Nothing right now. Fact is, he's behind in his rent. Only last week I said to him, Mr. Hodge, I ain't a man to kick a fellow when he's down.
Good Lord.
Hurry, what'd you jump up for?
What's the matter, son? Hodge out of work, behind in his rent, facing eviction, and received one of those mischief-making letters yesterday morning. Come on, Mr. Plunkett. We've got to get into Hodge's apartment at once.
Mr. Hodge still doesn't answer.
Better unlock his door, Mr. Plunkett.
But I didn't tell him nothing about evicting him. Had to jog him up, didn't I? Confound it. Can't seem to...
Sergeant, unlock the door. Take the key from Mr. Plunkett.
Sure.
Nicky, you and Mr. Plunkett better stay out in the hall till we take a look.
All right,
we are.
Inspector, we'll be right out here.
Living room. Empty. That letter on the table.
Looks like one of the same crop.
It is. Typed on that old wreck of a machine. To Lewis Hodge, this address. Mr. Hodge, the cops are watching you. You can't get away. Signed, a friend.
Some friend. Where is Hodge, anyway?
That door over there. Must be his bedroom. It's locked. We better force it, Dad.
One side, gents. Again. There he is.
On the bed. Dead. For at least 24 hours, I'd say. Shot through the left temple.
Gun still in his hand.
Windows and doors locked from the inside. So it can't be anything but suicide. That blasted letter drove Hodge to suicide. Yes. At last, our friend, the mischief maker, has caused a death.
Ellery.
What's up, Dad?
Taken us 2 days, but we finally identified Lewis Hodge.
Identified him? Well, who was he?
An escaped convict serving a life sentence for murder, born in Cincinnati and was doing his stretching in an Ohio pen when he managed to make a break. He's been holding up in New York.
Yeah, his real name was James Lewis Hodgkiss.
Escaped convict. No wonder Mr. Hodge was such a model tenant.
Yes, he must have been at the end of his rope. Broke, afraid he might be recognized and sent back to prison. Hodgkiss undoubtedly lived in constant fear. That anonymous letter saying the police were watching him broke his nerve, and he took the easy way out.
But how did the letter writer know who he was?
We'll probably never know, Nicky. May have recognized him from having seen his photo somewhere. Or it might have been a complete shot in the dark.
Anyway, we're back where we started from. Who sent the letter that drove Hodge to suicide? Who wrote to Mrs. Lester and broke up her marriage? Who wrote Dr. Drayton that his 15-year-old daughter was in danger? Who wrote to old man Plunkett trying to get him in trouble with the bank?
A friend, Sergeant. I think it's hopeless.
Dad, have you got those letters on file here?
Here, son. Here.
The envelopes, too, Dad. Thanks.
What are you looking him over again for, son?
He's examined them all before, Ellery.
Oh, I ought to have my eyes examined.
What do you mean?
Why?
Here it was all this time, and I didn't see it.
Didn't see what, Maestro?
Look at these 4 envelopes. Don't you see there's one thing all 4 addresses have in common?
Sir, what thing, son?
A clue. A clue in the addresses. The same clue.
In the addresses? Well, the one to Mr. Plunkett's addressed to the bank. The ones to Mrs. Lester, Dr. Drayton, and Lewis Hodge are addressed to the apartment house. The addresses are all correct, Ellery.
Wait. There's one erasure on each envelope.
Right, Dad. And in the same place in each case.
Where? Say, that's right.
Some typewriter character. One character has been erased just after the house number on each envelope.
Between the house number and the name of the street.
I wonder what was erased. Can't make it out, son. Can you?
No, Dad, but I know what was erased just the same.
You do?
Yes, and that tells me the identity of the mischief maker who wrote these anonymous letters. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the mystery. Have you figured it out yet? Well, suppose you compare solutions with our guest armchair detectives. Nicky, will you please introduce our guest?
Well, Ellery, our first guest tonight is Miss Genevieve Bean, a nurse in training at New York St. Vincent's Hospital with the United States Cadet Nurse Corps. Our second guest is Mr. Peter Cusack, Executive Secretary of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis. Miss Bean, after you've completed your cadet nurse training, you become a nurse in the armed forces?
Well, Nicky, either that or a nurse in public service on the home front. We can select any branch of nursing, military or home front, as long as it's essential.
The Cadet Nurse Corps is quite a plan, isn't it, Miss Bean?
Yes, Ellery, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity for me. I get a lifetime education free.
How right you are. Well, Mr. Cusack, how's the March of Dimes going? Think you'll reach your goal this year?
Well, frankly, Ellery, we don't set a goal. You see, our work in combating infantile paralysis is so vital to the welfare of American children that we can use every dime and dollar.
It's a never-ending fight, isn't it?
Yes, but one of these days we're going to wipe out the dread disease.
And that day can't come too soon. But now, let's solve our mystery. Miss Bean, who wrote the anonymous letters?
I think Dr. Drayton.
And why do you think so?
Well, because he hesitated so much in answering the questions and he didn't report his letters to the police force as the others did.
Thank you, Miss Bean. And now, Mr. Cusack, who do you think wrote the anonymous letters?
I think it was Dr. Drayton's daughter, Mr. Queen, who was described by Miss Lamb as being very weird.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that?
Well, Miss Lamb said that she stayed home all the time, reading strange books. And I think she probably found access to her father's scientific books, and that her imagination started to work.
Thank you, Mr. Cusack and Miss Bean. You'll find in just a moment whether you've solved our mystery correctly. And now, Ernest Chappell.
Friends, for United States Cadet Nurse Corps information, write in care of Box 88, New York City. Now, if you can qualify, you'll do your country a great service and build yourself a future through the United States Cadet Nurse Corps. And don't forget the March of Dimes. Send your dimes and dollars now to help fight infantile paralysis.
All right. Let's have a
Wait. We know that the 4 anonymous letters all came the same morning. They must all have been typed at the same time. We also know that in addressing the 4 envelopes, the writer typed a single character of some sort between the house number and the name of the street. And in all 4 cases, before mailing the letters, he erased that character. Now, what were those typewriter characters he put in and then took out? Were they different characters in each case?
I'd say it was the same character in each case, because at least 3 of the 4 addresses were identical. And the erasure occurs in exactly the same spot on the 4 envelopes.
Right, Dad. So it was the same character.
Well, what character was it, Elf?
Let's figure it out together. What are the possibilities? Well, the erased character could have been a numeral.
Like 1, 2, or 6.
Yes, or it could have been a letter of the alphabet.
Like A, B, or X.
Right, or it could have been a special mark.
A dollar sign or a percent sign.
Or any of the other special keys on a typewriter. Or finally, it could have been a punctuation mark. Now, the erasure in each case occurred just after the house number. Could the character have been a numeral?
Oh, but that would mean that the writer originally typed the wrong house number, Ellery. One with 4 numbers instead of 3, like 2305 instead of 230.
Exactly, Nicky. But how could the writer have typed the wrong house number? You know he was someone in 230 Hatton Avenue. He certainly knew his own address. So the erased character wasn't a numeral. Was it a letter of the alphabet?
Might have been. The erasures are between the house number and the name of the street, so they could have been a wrong letter to start the name of the street.
Don't be a fool, Davy. If he knew his house number, then he knew the name of the street, too. Better.
Dad's right, Sergeant. So the erased character wasn't a letter of the alphabet either.
Well, it certainly couldn't have been a dollar sign or a mark like that.
No, Nicky. A special mark in that particular spot and an address would make no sense at all.
Okay, so the character erased must have been a punctuation mark. The same punctuation mark. But which punctuation mark?
Well, Dad, do we use punctuation marks after the street number in an address?
We? Who's we?
We, the people. We Americans.
Americans? Certainly not.
You mean there's countries where they do?
Yes, Sergeant. In certain foreign countries, it's accepted practice to put a comma after the street number. At 230 Hatton Avenue, citizens of those countries would write 230, Hatton Avenue. So I knew the erased characters must have been commas. If they'd been erased after typing them in, the writer realized they betrayed his foreign origins. Question: who at 230 Hatton Avenue is not an American? Mr. Plunkett, a Yank. The Draytons, Midwesterners. Miss Bertha Lamb, of American pioneers. Lewis Hodge, or Hodgkiss, born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Joe the janitor, born in Hester Street, New York City. Mrs. Lester, an American. Hubert Lester, her husband.
An Englishman.
Right, Nicky. Hubert Lester. In this country only 6 months.
not long enough to have broken himself of his English punctuation habits. So I knew it was Hubert Lester who wrote that letter to his wife accusing himself of being untrue to her.
But why, Maestro?
Well, Sergeant, obviously Lester decided he'd made a serious error in marrying Mrs. Lester. And this was his devious way of getting her to divorce him, instead of giving her the actual grounds which might have caused a scandal and the loss of his job.
Then why did Lester send those letters to the other people in the house?
Obviously, Dad, to divert suspicion from himself, to make the writer seem to be someone of a diseased or disturbed mind, a chronic and indiscriminate mischief maker. I imagine Lester had in mind putting the blame on Dr. Drayton's unhappy, neurotic 15-year-old daughter, a type often responsible for anonymous letters. Yes, Lester is a mischief maker in this case, Dad, and I'm sure you can dig up some charge to make him pay for it. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the solution to the mystery. I want to thank Miss Bean and Mr. Cusack for appearing as guest armchair detectives this evening. We have for both Miss Bean and Mr. Cusack a personal gift from Bromo Seltzer, also an autographed copy of my latest mystery anthology, The Female of the Species, and a subscription to Ellery Queen's Mystery Magazine.
Before Ellery gives us a preview of next week's mystery, friends, here's an important reminder from our famous talking train.
Fight headache 3 ways.
That's the ticket, all right. Fight headache 3 ways with Bromo Seltzer. After all, there's no point in relieving just the ache in your head if you're also suffering from jumpy nerves and upset stomach that may accompany a common sick headache. Bromo Seltzer, unlike some headache preparations, gives you the 3-way relief you want.
Quick relief from headache pain, fast help for jittery nerves, quick help for upset stomach.
Now, Bromo Seltzer is pleasant, easy to take. You can take it while it's still fizzing or after it settles down. Use it only as directed on the label. For persistent or recurring headaches, see your doctor.
But when it's a common sick headache that has you feeling miserable, take this tip from our talking train.
Fight headache 3 ways.
And now, Ellery Queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week I promise you one of the most exciting and intriguing mysteries to date. I call it The Adventure of the Scarecrow and the Snowman.
And don't forget the other great Bromo Seltzer show, friends, Vox Pop, the show that travels America. Remember, Vox Pop, next Monday. Consult your local paper for the time and station. Music for The Adventures of Ellery Queen is by Charles Paul. This is Ernest Chappell reminding you to catch the Bromo Seltzer special again next week, same time, same station.
Fight headache 3 ways.
Bromo Seltzer, Bromo Seltzer, Bromo Seltzer, Bromo Seltzer, Bromo Seltzer.
Program is transcribed. Ellery Queen. In the interest of a safer American home, a happier American community, a more united state, the American Broadcasting Company and its affiliated stations bring you Ellery Queen.
I dedicate this program to the fight against crime. Not only crimes of violence and crimes of dishonesty, but also crimes of intolerance, discrimination, and bad citizenship. Crimes against America.
The American Broadcasting Company presents another case in the career of Ellery Queen, celebrated fighter of crime. As usual, Ellery invites you to match wits with him as he relates the mystery. And before revealing the solution, he gives you a chance to solve it. Tonight, Ellery's guest armchair detective, who will represent you home armchair detectives, is the popular Hollywood columnist, Miss Sheila Graham. And now, Ellery Queen, your host for the next half hour.
Thank you, Paul Masterson. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard me investigate crimes in just about every imaginable place. Well, our crime tonight took place in the strangest locale of all, right on my own radio program. I call it the... Paul.
Ellery, hold it, will you?
What's the matter, Paul? What is it?
Ellery, you can't do this. You'll have to switch. Give us another case.
Why?
Murder on the Queen Show? Are you crazy? You'll scare the bejinkers out of people, Ellery. They'll think it's actually happening in this studio during the broadcast.
Very good point, Paul. Yes, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to be sure and keep in mind throughout the next half hour that you're listening to a case from the past, a crime that occurred a long time ago. Satisfied, Paul?
Thanks, Ellery.
It's a case I've always called the Armchair Detective. Veteran Queen fans will recall that in the early days of our radio show, as today, I invited some well-known person to come to the studio and sit in the guest detective's armchair. Then, as now, it was usually fun. But on the night I had in mind, things didn't quite go in the usual way. That night, about 15 minutes before we were scheduled to go on the air,
Everybody got the cuts?
I think so. Still, how are we on time?
We'll have to pick up 15 seconds, Ellery.
Oh,
Go on, set that fill again.
All right, coming, Nick. Who is it tonight?
Dr. Monty McKing.
Who?
You know, the college professor who has his own radio show. McKing's English.
Oh. Correct English crusader.
That's right.
Better brush up on my grammar. After you, Nicky.
Thanks. Bill?
Here's Miss Porter again.
Dr. McKing, Ellery Queen in the body.
How do you do, sir?
I'm almost afraid to answer, Dr. McKing. I might hang a participle or something.
Darling.
Oh, Rosemary, I'm sorry. My dear, may I present Mr. Ellery Queen? How do you do, Mr. McKing?
And this character is my brother and business manager, Bud McKee.
Oh, hello there. I think our paths have crossed in radio.
As a small business. Say, Ellery, seeing that we're pals, how about tipping Monty off to tonight's solution?
Oh, sorry. Bud, we are rebuffed.
Right. And, yes, sorry, Elsie. My secretary, Miss Woolen.
Woolen? This is really a thrill, Mr. Queen. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Queen fan. Why isn't that nice,
Thank you,
Ellery?
Miss Woolen. Oh, Dr. McKim, we haven't too much time. Shall we go into the guest detective room?
Monty's to sit in a special room, Mr. Queen.
Right in here, Mrs. McKing.
Well,
all right, isn't it? You see, we try to duplicate a home atmosphere. Oh, Nicky, would you pour me a glass of water, please? My throat's dry. There's only one seat here.
You know, you can't see the broadcast in this room. Oh, is that so? You just hear it, as you would in your own home.
Program's piped in here from the control room, Monty. You get it through that loudspeaker.
Why, how
Oh, so I see, but at the proper time, Mr. Queen, I take it I extemporize in that microphone above the table? Yes, Doctor. Yes, it's strictly an ad-lib spot. Immediately after my announcement on the air that I know who committed the crime, Nicky and I dash into this room from the studio, seat ourselves on the other side of the table from you, and then we hold a three-cornered post-mortem over the court.
Not Dr. McKing's corpse, I hope.
Elsie, do I detect an unconscious secretarial wish to achieve my destruction?
Marty, I don't find that a bit funny.
Don't come, Rosemary.
But, Mrs. McKing, I didn't mean
Ellery will have to hurry, but of course. Oh, right, Nicky, yes. I should explain no one's allowed in this room but our guest of the evening. So, Nicky, if you'll show the rest of Dr. McKean's party into the client's booth.
Oh, certainly. This
I thought you would be...
Good luck, Don.
Now, if you get thirsty during the broadcast, Doctor, here's a pitcher of water right on the table.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Oh, Phil.
Yes, Ellery?
How about a quick level?
Whenever he's ready.
Uh-huh. All right, if you'll be seated, Dr. McKing. Yes, thank you. And say something into the mic, anything at all. Just a voice level, sir. I left Dr. McKing alone in the armchair detective's room. We went on the air with our program, and in due course I reached the point in our mystery where I was able to say...
But, Ellery, do you mean to say...
Yes, Dad. Now I know who committed the murder. Nicky and I hurried to the armchair detective's room as usual. There was Dr. McKing, a little nervous, but otherwise himself. I said into the table, And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the mystery. Now, let's see what our guest armchair detective has to say. Nicky?
And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is the famous Dr. Monty McKing, founder and leading light of that popular radio program, McKing's English.
All I can think of at this moment, Dr. McKing, is McQueen's ignorance. You're too modest, Ellery.
You're not the worst offender by any means. Oh, you're sometimes guilty of ellipses.
Is that bad, Doctor?
But you usually avoid committing such truly foul crimes against our mother tongue as needless variants, irrelevant allusions, pleonasms, periphrasy.
Surrender. But to get away from the English language and how not to use it, Dr. McKing, I hear you're famous in a different sphere altogether.
Yes. You're said to be able to whip up a mean bouillabaisse, Doctor.
Oh, yes, Nicky. I am an enthusiastic amateur chef.
Doesn't your wife resent it?
On the contrary, Nicky, Mrs. McKing is only too happy to leave the solution of our household's culinary mysteries to me.
Ah, talking about solving mysteries, Dr. McKing.
Oh, dear. I find that drought has suddenly attacked my vocal cords.
Simple, we'll irrigate him. Nicky, will you oblige?
I'm way ahead of you, Ellery. Here you are, Dr. McKing. A nice wet glass of water.
Spoiled. Thank you.
Now, as soon as you're through oiling your larynx, Doctor, suppose you tell us who committed the murder in the police commissioner's office. Oh, what's the... don't let the water glass worry you, Doctor. Who committed the murder...
Ellery, he's...
Too nervous to speak, eh, Dr. McKing? Well, it happens to the best of us. In just a moment, I'll give you the solution to tonight's mystery, but first... The control room cut our armchair detective's room off the air that night just in time, as Nicky and I hurried around the table to Dr. McKing's chair.
He fell off his chair.
Doctor. Queen, I poisoned.
Poison?
By what, Dr. McKing? What's that?
Search Rosemary.
Doctor?
Search Rosemary. That's his wife. Dr. McKing. Ellery, call a doctor.
For what, Nicky?
Ellery, what's going on in here? What's happened to your guest? Hey.
Dead, Phil.
Dead? But we're still on the air.
Nicky, the poison is in that glass of water McKing just drank.
Our water? From the pitcher?
Pitcher's loaded with it, too. Smell this, Phil.
Huh? Oh, what am I doing? Ellery, for the love of Mike, we're still on. You've got to finish the show. Solve the murder.
Yes, solve the murder. Yes. Phil, have this room guarded till we're off the air. Nicky?
Yes, Ellery.
Back to the mic.
I don't know how we got through the rest of the program. My mind's a blank on the whole thing. But the minute we went off the air that evening, Ellery hurried back to the guest room to solve a very different kind of murder. The murder of his own armchair detective.
No! I didn't, Inspector Queen. I didn't, I tell you.
Mrs. McKing, your husband's dying words were to search you.
Well, you didn't find anything on me, did you?
The idea of murder's ridiculous. Queen, my brother probably committed suicide.
Impossible, Bud. The poison that killed him comes only in liquid form, so it must have been in the container.
And there's no poison container of any kind, either on Dr. McKing's body or in this room. Inspector, Billy, I found it. The bottle's empty, Inspector, but smell it. This is it, all right.
Sergeant, where'd you find that bottle?
On the floor of that glass-enclosed booth where Mrs. McKing, Bud McKing, and Miss Woolen were watching the broadcast, Maestro.
The client's booth?
Oh, Nicky, feeling better?
Oh, yes, Ellery. Well, no one else was in that booth, Inspector, just his wife, his brother, and his secretary.
Sort of simplifies it. Ellery, you sure the water in this pitcher was okay when the McKing party first came in here with you and Nicky?
Before we went on the air? Positive, Dad.
Oh, Inspector, Ellery drank a glass full of it himself.
So one of these three dropped the poison into the pitcher before Miss Porter escorted him out.
Disposed of the empty bottle in the booth.
Afraid we forced the poisoner's hand, Nicky, by sending them into that booth.
Mrs. McKing, it looked as if your husband had noticed you fooling around with that pitcher.
If Marty had seen me drop poison into the water, would he have drunk any of it?
Rosemary's got a point there, Inspector. He probably didn't get the significance of what he'd seen until he realized he was poisoned. But when he does realize it, he says to search you for the bottle.
But why should I murder Marty? I loved my husband. I loved him dearly. Life won't be the same. I'll say it won't.
Miss Woolen. What do you say?
Oh, nothing.
What did you mean, Miss Woolen?
Yes, go on, Elsie. Say it. All right, I will. Dr. McKing was the kindest husband in the world to her. And all she cared about was money. Money for clothes, furs, and jewelry. And when he had to close down her charge account, she poisoned him.
Out of revenge. Huh, Miss Woolen?
No, for his estate. His will leaves everything to her. That's why Mrs. McKing poisoned him. For his money.
you I've been extravagant, and I was angry when Monty clamped down on me, but commit murder for money? The man I loved?
Ellery, come out with me a minute.
Oh, yes, Dad.
Shut the door.
Well, shut it. It's shut, Dad.
Oh. Well, these blamed radio doors. What do you think, son?
I don't know.
King did put the finger on his wife.
Well, may have been no more than a stab in the dark, Dad. Certainly not enough to hold her on.
I think I'll send her home. Have Beely Gumshoe the house on the QT. Might send Nicky home with her, too.
Good idea, Dad.
She could snoop out information where they wouldn't give us the time of day.
Blast it.
Sure, but what?
Well, Dad, ever since McKing said search Rosemary, I've had the weirdest feeling
That he meant something else?
I don't know. I had the feeling there's a clue. A clue I've missed or forgotten. A clue that ties in with McKing's dying words. Maybe something that happened during the... Of course.
You got it?
No, Dad. No, but I know where I can get it.
Talk sense, son.
Well, they always make recordings for the Queen shows, Dad. Now, you go ahead with your plans. I'm going to take a recording of tonight's show home and play it back. All night, if necessary. To spot that... whatever it is.
That drought has suddenly attacked my vocal cords. Simple. We'll irrigate them, Nicky. Will you oblige?
I'm way ahead of you, Ellery. Here you are, Dr. McKing. A nice wet glass of water.
Spoiled. Thank you.
Oh, it's here. It's here somewhere.
Modest, Ellery. You're not the worst offender by any means. Oh, you're sometimes guilty of a listening.
Oh, it can't be there.
Variance, irrelevant allusions, pleonasm.
Yeah.
Said to be able to whip up a mean bouillabaisse, Doctor.
Oh, yes, Nicky. I am an enthusiastic amateur chef.
Doesn't your wife...
Wait a minute, chef.
On the contrary, Nicky.
Chef.
Mrs. McKean.
Chef. Can it be that...
Amateur chef.
Doesn't your wife...
That's it.
Rosemary to bed.
Oh, I went home, but then I thought, with Monty, well, Rosemary in such a spot, may I come in and chin for a while?
I'm sorry. It's after 3. What do you want?
Oh, scared to death, huh?
Good night.
Oh, what's your hurry?
Your foot, Mr. McKean.
You're full of that murder up, too, aren't you? Has he made you afraid of me?
Please take your foot away. I want to go to bed.
Don't think Ellery's pulling the wool over my eyes. You're a spy. He planted you here.
Let go of the door!
Monty wasn't murdered. It was suicide.
You've been drinking. Get out.
I know what you think, that I'm in love with Rosemary, that I killed my brother to get his wife.
If you don't go
well,
away...
it's a lie. There's never been a thing between Rosemary and me. Not a thing.
Sergeant Beely. Sergeant, you still down there?
Oh, Miss Porter, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing, Sergeant. I just want to make sure you were there.
Oh. Everything okay up there, Miss B?
Well, yes. I tucked Rosemary McKing into Betty by at 10:30, and Miss Woolen went to her room hours ago.
Well, you sound shaky. You sure everything's all right?
Well, Sergeant, Button McKing just came back to the house.
I know. I saw him go in, but he didn't try to sneak in, so maybe I better come in at that.
What was that? Oh, for heaven's sake.
What's wrong now?
Don't you hear it, Sergeant? Sounds as if someone was breaking up the house. I better go see what's the matter.
No, wait till I...
Downstairs. Funny. It stopped. Who's that downstairs? What happened? Where the dickens is the light? Ought to be around here.
here. He just came. How you feeling, Nicky?
Inspector Queen.
She's still groggy.
I was upstairs.
Well, you're downstairs now, Nicky. Billy carried you here from the upper hall where he found you. Out cold. Then he phoned me at headquarters. I'd been working late.
Oh, what's the matter with my head?
Somebody used it for target practice, Miss Porter.
Oh, well, they scored a bullseye. Oh. Who was it? Who did it?
Nearly was too late, Nicky. But it's somebody who was in the house. I checked right away, but the two women were in their room sleeping, or make them believe they were sleeping. And I found Bud McKing on a couch in the upstairs hall, snoring off a load. We've got him locked in separate rooms.
That?
Ellery, where the heck have you been, Maestro? I tried calling you at home, but no answer.
Must have been on my way over here, Sergeant. Nicky.
Hi, Mr. Q.
Nicky, you're hurt.
Got a crack on the skull, son.
Maybe I have a concussion.
Oh, Nicky.
Ellery, hold me close.
Baby. Well, what are you two standing here for? Didn't you call a doctor? Nicky, honey.
Closer.
Oh, she's okay, Maestro.
I am not, Sergeant.
Why, you... Oh. Nicky, what were you doing?
Snooping.
Why?
Well, I heard someone going berserk in some room downstairs.
Really?
By the time Nicky got out into the upstairs hall, it was all over, and she bumped into whoever it was in the dark. He grabbed her.
Downstairs. The kitchen, wasn't it?
How'd you know?
I want to see it. Which way?
Come on.
Hey, wait for me.
Hurry up, Nicky.
Wouldn't care if I dropped dead right in this spot, Ellery.
Probably too late. I should have foreseen that the killer would want to...
What are you talking about, Ellery?
Here gets me half killed.
Here's the kitchen,
And
Maestro.
then he won't even wait. Well, look at this place.
A wreck.
Dishes broken, furniture knocked over.
It's a search or something, but what? Then why in the kitchen?
Remember Dr. McKing's dying words?
Search Rosemary.
Meaning his wife.
Not necessarily.
Not his wife?
But Ellery, Rosemary.
That's Mrs. McKing's first name, son.
It's also the name of something else. Dr. McKing was an amateur chef, an enthusiastic cook. This ought to be the spice cabinet.
Spice cabinet.
Got that crack on the head anyway.
Old cloves, thyme, mace, marjoram, sage, basil, nutmeg, old ginger. Ah, look.
Rosemary. Huh?
Rosemary. And herb used in cooking.
When he said search Rosemary, he meant to finish a sentence.
Or search Rosemary jar in spice cabinet or something like that.
Search Rosemary jar? Well, search it.
If I'm right, there'll be something in this jar, unless the searcher beat us to it.
He missed it. There is.
A wad of typewriter paper.
Mrs. McKing left it. What's it say, Ellery?
Oh, dated 10 days ago. Due to a recent disturbing episode, I am writing this note as a precaution. If anyone finds it, I am the only one who uses the spice cabinet, so it is safe against accidental discovery. It will be because they are investigating my murder. The other night, a certain person close to me threatened my life. I was inclined to at first dismiss it as hysteria. Now I am not so sure. If anything happens to me, the person who threatened to kill me was...
Oh, Ellery.
Come on, Maestro.
Elsie Woolen, my secretary. Signed Monty McKing.
Billy, get that Woolen girl down here. And it is true, Miss Woolen?
Yes, but
You did threaten Dr. McKing's life?
Yes, but I tell you.
You threatened him. Come on, why? Tears.
Nicky, you tackle her.
Me?
Give her some of the old porter treatment. You know, the kind you use on me.
I hope I have better luck with her. Miss Woolen. Elsie.
Oh, Miss Porter, they just don't understand.
Yes, well, they're men, dear. But, Elsie, they'll find out eventually. It's much better to tell the truth. They're really not ogres. You can't blame them, dear. If you refuse to talk, it looks as if you have something to conceal. Why not tell the whole story? Come on now.
I loved him.
Secretary loves both.
Vicky, shut up.
I kept it locked up for so long. But one night it came out. Monty told me he loved his wife. I guess I said some foolish things. But I didn't poison him last night. I didn't. You can't prove I did because I didn't.
Hey, all right, Bealey. She's not going anywhere. Because she's right. We can't prove it. All this does is to uncover another possible motive. This is a toughie.
This would be about the time for the great Ellery Queen to come up with one of his miraculous solutions, wouldn't it?
Well, Nicky, how did you know?
Oh, no.
Ellery.
Yes, Dad. Now I know who murdered Dr. McKing. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the mystery. Now, suppose you home armchair detectives and our guest in the studio compare solutions. Nicky?
Ellery, I'm happy to introduce the charming proprietress of one of Hollywood's most popular syndicated columns, Miss Sheila Graham.
Good evening, Miss Graham, and welcome to the armchair.
Thank you, but after listening to your mystery tonight, I'm a little worried about occupying this post.
Oh, you had nothing to be afraid of. Perhaps you'd like a glass of water to help you relax.
Heavens, no! That's the last thing in the world I'd want.
I can't say that I blame you. But now suppose we get down to business. Tell me, who do you think is the criminal in tonight's story?
Well, it's very complicated tonight.
Sure.
But I think Miss Woolen, the secretary, did it.
I see. And
See, it was a very subtle murder.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a smart girl to murder a man like that, and took a lot of preparation. Secretaries are usually rather smart, and she knew this man. She knew that he might get thirsty. He obviously got thirsty very often in his office. And also, he said that somebody very hysterically threatened his life previously.
You mean in the note he left?
Yes, in the note he left. And she was a very hysterical woman, so I think Miss Woolen did it.
Thank you very much, Miss Sheila Graham. We'll find out in just a moment if your solution is correct. Now, here is Paul Masterson.
A second great war has in the not-too-distant past drawn to a close. The magnificent self-sacrificing work of the International Red Cross will long be remembered. At home, the American Red Cross has always been on the job whenever disaster struck, whether it was a tornado, earthquake, fire, or flood. It is our duty and our privilege to help make the 1948 Red Cross campaign the best ever. The quota is set at $75 million. By giving to the Red Cross, you are giving directly to your relatives and friends in the armed forces and here at home. Let's make 1948 the banner year in donations to the American Red Cross.
I don't care. I don't want to hear it. He's just too smart. Always knows the answer to mysteries.
Well, I want to hear it.
Nicky.
Pipe down. What have you got, Ellery?
Swelled head.
It's all right, Dad. It's that crack on the skull. Well, now, what was Dr. Monty McKing's profession? What was he most famous for?
His radio program.
McKing's English.
His authority on the correct usage of the English language.
Then let's take another look at that note we just found in the rosemary jar. I quote, "Due to a recent disturbing episode, I am writing," and so forth.
Something wrong there, Maestro?
Well, Sergeant, due to in that sentence is hopelessly incorrect.
Oh, it is, huh?
It should read because of a recent disturbance. I'm writing, and so forth. Due to can never be used adverbially.
Is that so?
And this, if anyone finds it, it'll be because they are investigating my murder.
Any one must be followed by he. One can't possibly mean the plural.
Oh, Miss Porter is with us again. Yes, Nicky. Another mistake. And this, I was inclined to at first dismiss.
A split infinitive. A split in what?
In other words, this short note, purportedly from the pen of an authority on correct English, reveals not one, not two, but three of the commonest errors of usage. Incredible. Conclusion, Dr. McKing did not write the note.
It's a phony. I mean a forgery.
And since the note was not written by Dr. McKing, it was not left in the rosemary jar by Dr. McKing either. Someone else left the note in the jar, obviously the real writer of the note, the forger.
But, Ellery, why? What was accomplished by it?
Well, a great deal, Dad. It made us believe that the word rosemary in Dr. McKing's dying statement, "search rosemary," meant rosemary the herb rather than rosemary the name of a woman. And who gains by our thinking that the victim was not accusing a woman named Rosemary, but was merely telling us to look for a note in a spice jar?
Only Rosemary McKing herself. She did poison her husband.
Tried to twist his accusation of her to mean something entirely different, because she had a guilty conscience.
So tonight, after I put her to bed, she forged her husband's signature to a note accusing Elsie Woolen, then sneaked downstairs, left the note in the rosemary jar as a blind...
And then Nicky deliberately led us to that jar.
Wait a minute. Led us to the jar, Maestro?
Well, by wrecking the kitchen, Sergeant. What was that but a clever device to draw our attention to it? To make us search it and find her plant in the rosemary jar.
And then on her way back upstairs, she bumped into me in the dark and let me have it.
At that, Rosemary's attempt to lead us down a false trail might have succeeded, if only she'd learned from her victim the rules governing the English language.
Well, here's where she learned something about the rules governing murder. Billy, old Rosemary McKing, for the murder
of my armchair detective.
Yes, sir.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the solution to our mystery. Thank you again, Miss Sheila Graham, for serving as our guest armchair detective this evening. As mementos of the occasion, I have for you a copy of my latest mystery anthology, The Queen's Awards, 1947, and a subscription to Ellery Queen's Mystery Magazine. Ah, Paul. Feeling all right?
Well, I guess we're okay. There have been no calls yet asking if our armchair detective's really been knocked off.
And what are you worried about?
Among other things, Ellery, next week.
And never mind about next week.
What's the matter, Nicky? What gives next week that it darkens the fair brow and brings lightning into those beauteous orbs?
Why, Paul.
Well, it's nothing, Nicky. I guess you bring out the poet in me.
Oh.
Nicky.
Remember me?
Go away. Not you, Nicky.
Yes, I remember you, Ellery Q. And I remember that female, too.
What female?
Nicky's referring to next week's problem, Paul.
I'll say she was a problem.
What was her... I mean, its name, Ellery.
Well, you were right the first time, Paul. I call her... it. The farmer's daughter. This is Ellery Queen saying good night until next week, and enlisting all Americans every night and every day in the fight against bad citizenship, bigotry, and discrimination, the crimes which are weakening America.
All names used on this program are fictitious and do not refer to real people, either living or dead. Among the members of tonight's cast were Larry Dobkin, Herb Butterfield, Kay Brinker, Alan Reed, Joan Banks, Bill Johnston, Charles Seal, Ann Morrison, and Joe Kearns. Music was by Rex Corey, direction by Dick Woolen, entire production under the supervision of Ellery Queen. Now, a listening reminder. For a hilarious combination of spring fever and spring house cleaning, listen when Willie Piper's spring fever combats his wife's feverish energy on Tales of Willie Piper tonight.
The preceding program came to you by transcription. The best time to plan for the future of your children is when they're small. That's the time to set up a nest egg for their education. And your banker will tell you that the best way to do it is to put the money...
Miss Marion Collins. Good evening. Carl Van Dorn.
How do you do?
Ellery Queen.
I'm Ellery. I'm Queen.
And our genial master of literary ceremonies, that distinguished humorist and light versifier, Ogden Nash.
On behalf of our sponsor, welcome audience, seen and unseen, to the first broadcast of Author. Briefly put, Author is a game of story invention in which you'll be able to hear how America's most famous writers invent their story plots. Ellery Queen, whom you all know as collaborators on detective fiction, and I will be with the program from week to week. Two different guest authors will play the game with us each broadcast. And tonight's guests are Miss Marion Collins, radio and short story writer, and Carl Van Doren, distinguished critic and novelist whose recent biography of Benjamin Franklin is among America's best sellers. The game of Author begins with a little drama. It's called the $2,001 Watch. The scene is Spiffen's, famous Fifth Avenue jewelry shop. As the store opens, the day's first customer, a shabbily dressed man, enters and speaks to Mr. Stillman, sales clerk.
Good morning. I'd like to see a watch. Yes, of course. Any particular kind of watch? No, any watch. Very good, sir. Now here, sir, is a very fine platinum case jewel watch.
What's the price of it?
$2,000, sir.
I'll give you $1 for it.
$1?
That's what I said.
Excuse me, sir, but are you serious?
I offer you $1 for that watch, and I mean
Get
it.
out of here! Get out! Is this your idea of a joke? Why,
What's all this commotion about?
Why, this man, Mr. Spiffin, has the nerve to offer me $1 for this $2,000 watch.
Very well. Sell the gentleman the watch for the $1. Our little drama has rather an unexpected ending, and that's where our four authors come in. Their part of the game now is to create extemporaneously a logical beginning to explain why a man should have the nerve to offer $1 for a $2,000 watch, and why the jeweler should have the geniality to accept it. To put it like a jacket blurb on a book, they've got to tell us what unusual tale of romance, sentiment, or intrigue lies behind this paradox of Spiffins. Their stories are unrehearsed. Don't mind if they stumble a bit. That's the idea of author. Now, Miss Collins, Mr. Van Doren, who'd like to take a shot at that?
Oh, don't pick on me for the first one. I think one of the queens should go first.
Well, Queen first by all means.
Well, I think Ellery should come first. Ellery comes before Queen. Well, that may be true, but in the telephone book, Queen comes first. Well,
Before Ellery in the telephone book?
well, I'll yield to that authority. I suppose I'm on the spot here. As I see it, Mr. Spiffin, I'll have to start my story with Mr. Spiffin. Mr. Spiffin, in his off moments, at the times when he's not at his establishment, has a hobby. He doesn't play golf particularly, nor does he care terribly much for bridge or cultivating spring onions. He collects coins. He's one of those peculiar people that, like stamp collectors, for example, who collects coins. Now, he has developed a tremendous collection over the period of many years. Matter of fact, it's probably one of the greatest collections of rare coins in the world. Very expensive collection. And one thing has always been the bane of Mr. Spiffin's existence. He hasn't been able to get hold of a certain very rare coin. It's a $1 coin of American extraction. It's worth $5,000. He's been willing to pay almost any price for it, but he hasn't been able to find one. Well, now, when Mr. Spiffin came out to see what the commotion was about, he noticed that the dollar which the shabbily dressed man was offering to Mr. Stillman, the clerk, was not a bill, but a coin. And what was it but this very coin? Well, of course, he was going to...
At least that proves it can be done. Now we have an interlude known as the Are You Sure period. Comments and criticisms, insults, pro and con are invited on Mr. Queen's explanation.
I wonder if Mr. Queen himself is a coin collector. I wonder if he has the first dollar he ever made.
Matter of fact, I never made a first dollar. Well, it's easy to begin on the second, I suppose. But, are there any further... That was an insult, wasn't it? Any criticism?
I can only criticize the insult.
Well, then, perhaps, Miss Collins, have you a reconstruction of this episode?
Well, I have a fairly simple one. I can visualize that a great many years ago, Mr. Sniffen possibly was an apprentice in a jewelry store and had an opportunity to buy a store and no money. Being a young man and poor and struggling, one thing or another. And he had an old friend whom he approached for the capital, which consisted of $2,000. He started in business with that and made the very distinguished jewelry shop known today as Sniffin's. And as he approached the clerk and this shabbily dressed man to see what the commotion was about, he recognized the old friend who had advanced him the money for the opening of his business, whom he had forgotten all over these years and had repudiated the loan. And he felt that he would be justified in accepting the dollar for the watch in as much as the $2,000 would mean the discrepancy between there would be the $2,000 he had borrowed.
Was that,
Mr. Nash,
I suppose it would apply to Spiffins as well as to Sniffins.
Mr. Nash,
yes, Mr. Ellery.
I'd like to quarrel with the ethics of Mr. Spiffin or Sniffin, as it may
Let's compromise on Sniffin, shall we?
be. He owed this man $2,000 for a long time, but that watch didn't cost him $2,000.
I have been wondering about that.
At best, it cost him $1,000. He rather got out of it easily, didn't he?
Well, I think the government's doing the same thing these days.
I think the man was just having his conscience fun.
Personally, I think the man is very lucky to get the watch. Mr. Van Doren, would you like to take a try at this?
Well, I shall have to bring in the deep tragic note. I figure that Mr. Spiffin lived in Mahwah, New Jersey. And 3 days before, his only heir had been kidnapped. Since that time, he had been getting a daily letter. He always found it lying on the sidewalk when he left his house. The first day it had said, "Watch the shabby customer." And the second day it mysteriously said $2,000. And the third day it had said nothing at all. He was very much embarrassed. Now, he was actually hanging around in the store all the time because he watched every customer that came in. But when this customer came in, and when he offered $1 for the $2,000 watch, Mr. Spiffin, listening for a while, became convinced that this was a shabby customer. This was the $2,000. And the way for him to communicate his willingness to pay whatever ransom or to deal with the kidnappers was to give in now and say that he would take $1 for the $2,000 watch.
A very ingenious and I should think foolproof explanation.
That's quite foolproof.
It's not quite.
I yield to you, Mr. Green.
Well, I was just about to say before you were going to put your annoying voice into the microphone because, I mean, you and I never...
I didn't give a story. You shouldn't heckle me.
Well, I was just about to say that we ought to look to our laurels. Mr. Van Doren, who's never, to my knowledge, done a detective story, has just reconstructed one very dutifully. And in a minute and a half. Ah, yes. But you forget that I have read all the Queen's detective stories.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Well, I had something to say, Mr. Nash. Mr. Van Doren spoke of the third note as saying nothing at all. How did he know it was a third note if it said nothing at all?
An invisible ink, mightn't it?
I meant to say the third day he'd got no note at all.
Well, I think you got out of that very neatly, sir. Mr. Ellery,
well, I wonder if there is a fourth solution anywhere. I visualize Mr. Spiffin as having a friend who was very fond of making ridiculous bets. The previous night, after a game of chess in Mr. Spiffin's home, his friend suggested a bet, something along these lines. He bet Mr. Spiffin $2,000 that the next morning he wouldn't okay the very first transaction that would take place in the Spiffin jewelry store. Mr. Spiffin, to humor his friend, agreed to accept the bet, and early the next morning, the friend hired the shabby man for a few dollars to go in and offer $1 for a $2,000 watch. Now, Mr. Spiffin found himself in a rather peculiar position. If he refused to sell the $2,000 watch for $1, he would have to pay the $2,000 bet to his friend, and therefore be out $2,000. However, if he accepted the $1 for the $2,000 watch, he would not have to pay the $2,000 and would actually be $1 ahead on the transaction. And I haven't brought in sales tax because that might make it complicated.
well, I think he could have had it sent out of the state, couldn't he, to avoid the sales tax?
You picked me up on the wholesale business.
Yes, I know. About the price, the original price of that watch. And now, to continue author with another story problem. The extraordinary bequest. Scene, a lawyer's office. Mr. Chalmers, the attorney, is reading a will to John Sutton.
Item, to my friend John Sutton, I, William Black, give and bequeath my entire estate, or the envelope herewith attached to my last will and testament.
What's that?
his entire estate or an envelope?
Yes, that's right. Here's the envelope.
But it's empty. There's nothing in it. The estate's worth, well, easily $10,000.
Yes, Black was a queer one. No telling what he had in mind. Oh, but perhaps it was only a joke. You'll take the estate, of course, seeing that you're not well off, that is, financially speaking.
Mr. Chalmers, I'm a poor man, and William Black knew it. $10,000 would mean everything in the world to me. Nevertheless, I'll take the empty envelope.
An extraordinary bequest indeed. Authors, why did John Sutton, a poor man, refuse a $10,000 bequest in order to accept an empty envelope?
Well, who goes first here?
Well,
That's me. I pass.
I think, shall we let Miss Collins start first? Women and children first. I think the theory being the first lifeboat out is the one that sinks.
And here I sink. All right, I'm going to tell you the story as I imagine Mr. Sutton might have told it to the lawyer sitting there across from his desk. Well, I've known Mr. Black for many years. We've been associated in business. I worked for Mr. Black for many years, upwards of 15 years. And he's a very mean man. I never liked him. And about 10 years ago, a niece of his came to live with him, keep house for him. Her mother and father had died. She had no money, and he came there and used her as a drudge. She took care of his house, clothes, and he never gave her any money. Was really a very, very mean person. And I couldn't say very much. I worked for the man, but every once in a while I'd put in a word of protest against his treatment of the girl. And he would ignore me, of course. And then the years have gone by. I knew when he was dying that the girl was his only heir. And I think this is a pretty grim jest. Black has made it possible for me to take this money and enjoy life for the rest of my life, or give it to the girl who really should have it. And he made me make the choice between the two.
Well, I think that's very interesting indeed. I'm so glad Mr. Black is dead. Are there any holes that we can poke in that?
It would be a shame to poke a hole in a story like that.
Thank you.
We'd always put Mr. Black in it, of course. Mr. Van Doren, have you a suggestion?
Well, nothing with that high romantic note. As I see it, these two men, Mr. Black and Mr. Sutton, had been rival autograph collectors. Mr. Black, who left with the estate, had been more successful, and he had been able to reduce the legatee, Sutton, almost to poverty. So that when he died, he felt a little bit sorry, and he decided he would leave him something, but he wouldn't leave him something unless he were expert enough to know the value of it. You didn't notice the business in the story, which was that when Sutton took the envelope and said the $10,000 would mean everything in the world to me, he turned it over, and he noticed something written on the back of it. Now, he knew a man, a potato baron, up in Aroostook County, Maine, who had been spending years making a complete collection of the autographs of all of his select men of all of the town in that place. He had, as a matter of fact, every single autograph of every single selectman of every town in Aroostook, Maine, except the autograph of Hezekiel Hiram Pratt. And this was, on the back there was only H. Pratt, and he wouldn't have known that, except that on the front it was addressed to Chester A. Arthur, President of the United States. Now, Mr. Sutton, being an expert, knew that at one of his more frugal moments, Hezekiah Hiram Pratt had written a letter to Chester A. Arthur asking him to use his influence to get Pratt's son a position in West Point.
throws a very interesting light on the life of Chester A. Arthur.
It's amazing that Mr. Van Doren didn't use an autograph of Benjamin Franklin.
Yes. Well, I think it was very self-effacing of him when they... Well, I think there's a very good reason, probably, why he didn't. Did they have envelopes in Benjamin Franklin's day, Mr. Van Doren?
No, they didn't have. They simply folded the paper up, but I wouldn't have minded that.
Well, Mr. Ellery, have you...
Well, I visualize Mr. Sutton as being the nephew of Mr. Black, in fact, his only relative. And being his only relative, for a long time, Mr. Sutton has been expecting to be Mr. Black's heir. Mr. Sutton, however, is a ne'er-do-well, a waster, a man who has a passion for gambling, and he's got himself into serious financial difficulties. Of course, he could wait for Mr. Black to die a normal death, but he decided that if he could speed things up, it would help his own particular position. So he invented a rather clever ruse to help to speed up that legacy. You see, Mr. Black made his modest fortune in the stationery business. He manufactured envelopes and letter paper and so on. And one day, pretending to turn over a new leaf, Mr. Sutton came to his uncle, Mr. Black, and said that he had just made a remarkable discovery. He had invented a glue that didn't taste like glue, in fact, could be flavored. And if put on the backs of envelopes, people could get mince-flavored wax, clove-flavored wax, and so on. So he sent as a sample to Mr. Black one in Mr. Black's own particular, his favorite flavor, pistachio. Now, Mr. Black used to spend his weekends in a hunting shack in the woods, all alone with no telephone. And one weekend, as he was trying his nephew's envelope, he realized to his horror that the flap wasn't pistachio flavored, but was coated with nicotine. And, of course, he was poisoned. And in leaving, in the few minutes before he died, he left instructions to Mr. Chalmers, the lawyer, to let Mr. Sutton take either the estate or the envelope, which represented the only evidence against the nephew that he was involved in Mr. Black's death.
I think that's so ingenious that we can hardly ask any questions of Mr. Ellery at all.
I could heckle myself.
Well, don't write me any letters. That takes care of our author's part in the game of author. There's also excuse me, haven't I been left out? I beg your pardon. Oh, that's perfectly all right. I'm perfectly willing to be left out. No. I'd hardly call it a minor oversight. No. It's quite fine. I'd like to hear your approach to this. Well, as a matter of fact, it's hardly good enough to be dignified by an approach. I merely visualized John Sutton as a pacifist. Now, you might ask what pacifism has to do with the rejection of a $10,000 bequest, the acceptance of an empty envelope. Well, he recognized the fact that on this envelope was written in invisible ink the formula. I forgot to tell you, incidentally, that John Sutton was a chemist. The formula of a new and powerful poison gas which would decimate, I won't use the word decimate, Mr. Van Doren, that's a bad word, which would depopulate the world. And now he had a tough decision to make. If he took the envelope, he would, of course, take it merely for one purpose, to destroy it, because he was a pacifist. He didn't want to see a new weapon like this given to the world. On the other hand, if he left the envelope and took the $10,000 bequest, he would be leaving that thing to the world, and so, being the true idealist, he simply refused the $10,000 and took the envelope.
I'm glad you didn't use that detonate. That means only 1 out of 10.
I know, I recognize that. Well, we're doing better than that nowadays, I think. Well, that seems to take care of our author's part in the game of author. There's also a very interesting and profitable part which our audience is invited to play, and here's Mr. Lawrence to tell you about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2 story problems we gave our authors tonight, we made up. But we'd like you, our audience, to make up the ones we use next week and every week thereafter for cash prizes. Send your story problem, as many as you wish. Each problem should consist merely of the surprise ending of a story, along the lines of what you heard tonight. Now, don't dramatize your story. We'll do that. All you have to do is write in a short paragraph, in as few words as you wish, the surprise ending of a story. You don't have to figure out the beginning. That's the job of our authors. Make the endings of your story problem as hard to explain as you can. Each one accepted by us and used on this program will receive $25. And here's what we'll do with the story. We'll give it to our authors and have them create the beginning right here in the studio. So come on now, listeners. Here's your chance to win $25 or more and put America's most famous authors to the test. There are no strings attached to this offer. Anyone can enter. Send us as many story problems as you wish. Send them to author, care of the B.F. Goodrich Rubber Company, Akron, Ohio.
Just a moment, Mr. Lawrence.
Yes?
We're not finished yet. We'd like to have a friendly little chat with Mr. Nash.
Yes, Ellery, what is it?
Well, you've been having a fine time listening to us struggle with inventing story plots, and I mean struggle.
I've never seen so many distinguished people quite so uncomfortable.
All right, Mr. Nash, let's see how good you are at inventing stories.
Oh,
Miss
no.
Collins, Mr. Van Dorn, Queen, and I will give you a story problem, and let's hear you solve it.
Nothing was said about that when I came here.
And Mr. Nash, the audience will do the heckling this time. They'll let you know what they think of your story. How about it, audience? Right. No excuses now. Here we go. A centipede.
A spot. An airplane.
The London Zoo.
Oh, dear. Let's see. Centipede, a spot.
Well, there it is, Mr. Nash. Make a story out of that.
I do not like the centipede. A bug we do not really need. You always whack him where he's not. For if he is, he leaves a spot.
Mr. Nash. Where's the airplane?
Ellery.
How about my zoo?
The centipede was in the zoo, and we take the airplane to get out of this spot. I'm glad to be out of that. Good night.
Good night.
Listen in this same time next week for more fun with the authors. Ellery Queen will be with us. Carl Van Dorn probably be here, and Ogden Nash will be our genial master of literary ceremonies. Our guest authors will be Fanny Hurst and John Erskine. And don't forget to send your story problems to author, care of the B.F. Goodrich Rubber Company, Akron, Ohio. Each one selected and used on this program will receive $25, and the name of the person submitting it will be mentioned. Naturally, no story problems can be returned, and all submissions, whether used or not, become the property of the B.F. Goodrich Rubber Company. You'll know you're in for another fiction fun fest when you hear them call for author.
The Adventures of Ellery Queen. For all you men and women in the armed forces of the United Nations, a rebroadcast of radio's thrilling mystery drama, The Adventures of Ellery Queen. Now, here's Ernest Chappell to introduce the guests and the show. Ellery Queen invites you to match wits with him as he relates another story of a crime he alone unraveled. Before revealing the solution, he stops the play, gives you a chance to solve the mystery. Our guest armchair detectives for this evening are Miss Marjorie Lawrence, Metropolitan Opera star, and Mr. Beverly Kelly of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey combined shows. And now, Ellery Queen, master detective and your host for the next half hour.
Thank you, Ernest Chappell, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, tonight we tell you the strange mystery of the ghost in the mountaintop cave. I call it The Adventure of Dead Man's Cavern.
Hello? But Mr. Queen doesn't know anyone in Canoka, New York, operator.
Canoka, New York. Give me that phone, Nicky.
Why the excitement, Mr. Queen?
Hello, operator. Ellery Queen. Put her on, please.
Put her on.
Hello, Grace?
Ellery, how's the mastermind?
Grand to hear your voice, darling.
Darling?
What are you doing at your Adirondack Lodge, Grace?
Stretching my soul. How'd you like to join me this weekend?
Oh, it's a date. How about my gang, Dad, Veely, and my secretary?
Well, really?
Sure, I'll have a lodge full anyway. Wait a minute, dear. I'll look up the train schedule.
You bet, darling. I'll hold on.
Ellery Queen, if you think I'm going to kick my heels around an Adirondack love nest while you and some shameless woman...
Grace? Why, Nicky, she's Dr. Grace Grayson, probably the most famous living woman physicist. An old friend.
Oh? How old?
About 50, Nicky.
Oh.
Ellery,
Yes?
there's a 9:45 on Grand Central Saturday morning. I'll pick you and your folks up at the Tanoka Station. It ought to be fun.
Grace, I don't like that laugh. What have you got up your sleeve?
Oh. See, the fact is you can help catch a murderer this weekend.
I thought so. Who is he?
A gentleman known as the Strangler.
A strangler. That sounds grim. How many people has he killed?
29 at last report. Well, see you Saturday.
Strangler. I could strangle you, Grace. Stringing me along about catching a murderer who's been dead over 100 years. Why didn't you tell me he's the ghost of a local legend?
Well, I wanted to excite your curiosity, Ellery. I'll refill Inspector Queen.
Mind if I do, Dr. Grayson? I'm getting plastered on this mountain now. So you got a ghost up here, huh, Doc?
Lives in a cave near this lodge, you said? Yes, called Dead Man's Cavern.
Your three other guests seem mighty interested in that haunted cave, Grace.
Mr. and Mrs. Gabriel and Ernest Withers? Well, I suppose I ought to warn you. Hector Gabriel and Ernest Withers are supernaturalists, spend their lives running down ghosts.
Oh.
Here they come. Going to join us on the porch, gentlemen?
Oh, Gabriel, you're a gullible idiot. The way you were taken in by that ectoplasm trick in Seattle. Well, you would have been fooled, too, Withers. Oh, really? Remember how I exposed that crowd of fake mediums in Nashville, Gabriel? But you were ready to tell the whole world. You annoy me.
Sit down, boys.
Oh,
now, that's the way you've been with those two for 20 years, Ellery. Friendly enemies.
Mr. Gabriel, I'm told you have the largest, most valuable library of psychic works in the world.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Queen. Eh, Withers? Lucky dog. You've got books I'd give my right arm for.
Dr. Grayson tells us you two gentlemen are up here to investigate that haunted cave, Mr. Withers.
That's right, Inspector. We're going to conduct a scientific experiment.
Now, see here, Hector Gabriel. I'll let you and Withers turn my lodge into a psychic laboratory, but don't drag the respectable name of science into it.
Are there actually psychic manifestations, Grace?
Oh, Lord, some lug in 1840 began strangling people in that cave, and ever since then, they've... What's that?
Sounds like a wolf or something.
Listen. Wait. That's the moan, Gabriel, the ghost sound.
Now someone's screaming. That's no ghost.
Sounds like my wife. Well, Miss Porter took a walk in the woods, and here they come running. Wife, Mrs. Gabriel. Hold it, dear.
Oh, Mr.
Oh, there.
Hey, what happened? I was walking in the woods, Inspector, when that ghastly moaning started from the direction of that cave. Mrs. Gabriel got frightened. Hector, please. Don't you and Mr. Withers go near that cave. It's haunted.
Why, hold it. That's what Withers and I came here for. Yes, Mrs. Gabriel, if those moans were made by a ghost, it's our duty to psychic science.
Now, see here. Those sounds are a natural phenomenon. Nothing ghostly about them. Then what made that noise, Dr. Grayson? My dear child, the cavern probably has a peculiar rock structure which causes it to catch the wind at the top of the mountain and then expel it with a moaning sonic effect. There it is again.
Sure sounds funny, Harry. What do you think?
I think, Dad, we'd better have a look at Dead Man's Cavern. Grace, must we go through these woods to get to the cave?
Yes, Ellery. No way of going around it. Sheer cliff on either side.
I wonder why the moan stopped with us. Exasperating, Gabriel.
Hold it, everybody. Someone coming. Sounds like a big, heavy man.
Wasn't the strangler supposed to be big and heavy?
Oh, nonsense, Sergeant. It must be Hank Pete. Oh, I was right. Hi, Hank.
Hi, Professor. You hear them moans from Dead Man's Cavern, too?
Yes, we're going to the cavern now. Hank, these are friends of mine.
How do you do?
How do you do?
All right, Billy, get moving.
Strangler's getting pretty restless lately.
Huh? Say, Daniel Boone, you don't believe in this ghost bunk, too.
Man gets to believe in a lot of things, mister. Living alone up here in the hills.
Just what is the story of this strangler, Mr. Gabriel?
Well, some mountaineer, Mr. Queen, over... let me tell him, Gabriel. He lured wayfarers into the cave, you see, and strangled them for their money.
Nice fellow.
What did he do with his victims' bodies?
There's a natural opening in the rear wall of the cave. like a window.
It overlooks a lake, Inspector, the same lake that's behind my lodge.
The strangler threw his victims out of that cave window into the lake 50 feet below.
Never since them folks he strangled keep a moaning like you all heard.
Oh, of all the succotash hangs, the brute was finally caught and hanged.
It's the ghost of the strangler. Murdered one of his victims all over again. Well, here we are.
Right at the top of my mountain.
Oh, there's a clearing here between where the woods stop and the entrance to the cave.
Hey, ain't that a wooden door covering the entrance to the cave?
Yes, Sergeant.
Let's cross the clearing.
Good, really.
Oh, how come a door, Grace?
Hank Pete knows more about it than I do.
Some city fella a few years back put the door in, charged admission to see the haunted cave.
Was his name P.T. Barnum?
One night he was in here alone, and the moan started. He lit out like a buck deer, and he ain't been seen since.
Good stout door. Let's go in.
I think I'll stick right here by the entrance.
Sergeant, you'd never make a physicist.
Or a psychic research worker either. Interesting cavern, eh, Mr. Queen?
Yes, Mr. Gabriel, from what I can see of it in this gloom.
Solid rock.
No walls, roof.
The roof is really the inside of the very crest of the mountain, Inspector.
There's the window in the rear wall. Yes, this opening looks right out over the lake. Sheer drop of 50 feet.
What kind of experiment are you gentlemen intending to conduct here, Mr. Withers?
Well, Gabriel and I plan to spend an entire 24 hours in this cave, Inspector Queen, from 6 tomorrow morning until 6 a.m. the following day.
We'll take food, water, blankets, oil lamps, and a sound recording apparatus. We want to be in here when the moaning begins.
Very scientific, you see.
Go ahead, jeer, you female Philistine.
Really? Dutch wine coming in. Well, I got lonesome out there. Say, supposing you meet up with this ghost, don't you gents think you better pack a rod just in case?
If what's making them sounds could be shot, he'd be a dead ghost long ago.
We're taking every precaution against the possibility that the moans are caused by a human agency. We picked tomorrow for our vigil because the weather forecast for tonight is heavy rain. And the rain will soak down the loose earth of the clearing in front of the cave.
Yes, get it so soft that anyone approaching the cave will have to leave footprints in the mud. Well, let's go back, eh?
Yes, but you gentlemen will leave footprints when you cross the muddy clearing tomorrow morning.
We'll cross it barefoot to identify our own prints.
Appears to me like you two fellas aim to tinker with trouble.
My dear Pete's ghosts don't scare us. Gabriel, you have that new lock we brought out?
Yes, Withers. There. And the key remains in my pocket. Well, that's all until tomorrow morning at 6. If you want to see us off, you'll have to be up early.
We'll be up early, Mr. Gabriel.
Gosh, I'm sleepy, Ellery. Mrs. Gabriel and I had to double up last night, and she moaned all night long. Are the others following us?
All except Hector Gabriel. I wonder where Gabriel is. He bunked with me last night, but when I woke up this morning, he was already gone.
He must be waiting for us at the cave. Oh, look, Ellery. Is that the old woodsman Dr. Grayson mentioned last night?
Hank Pete? Oh, yes. Morning, Hank. Up early to see Mr. Gabriel and Mr. Withers start there watching the cave?
Mr. Queen, I've just been over to the clearing at the edge of the woods. Somebody's in that cave.
What?
Cave door is open.
What's that, Hank? Cave door open?
Why, it can't be. Gabriel and I put a new lock on it yesterday, and he has the only key.
Come see for yourselves.
It must be your husband, Mrs. Gabriel.
Well, I don't understand it, Sergeant. But weren't Mr. Gabriel and Mr. Withers to go into the cave together?
Yes, we were.
Keep your shade on, Mr. Withers.
Take a look.
The prints of a small man's bare feet.
And they go perfectly straight across the mud of the clearing to the cave door.
Just one set of prints. Ingoing.
Why, he's tricked me. His word of honor we'd go in together. His word of honor.
I'm sure Hector wouldn't do anything dishonorable, Mr. Withers.
Well, these are his footprints, aren't they? There couldn't be anyone else's here. They're so small. Cheat.
Mr. Withers, you're a dreadful man. Oh, it's probably a joke. Hector Gabriel!
Mr. Gabriel!
Hey, Mr. Gabriel!
Hector! Why don't you answer?
Something's wrong.
Dad, I'm crossing this clearing alone. Now, the two are to keep out of the way of Gabriel's footprints. If you have to follow me, the two are two.
Aye, son.
Dad, Billy.
Coming, Ellery. Come on, Billy.
I'm coming.
Something wrong, son?
What is it, Maestro?
Look. Gabriel. On the cave floor.
With all the supplies around him.
Dead. Dead about an hour, I'd say. Since 5 a.m.
Face contorted by a horrible fear.
And no wonder. Look at his neck. He's been strangled.
Well, son, I don't get it. Even these marks of strangulation are queer.
You mean the upward-pointing thumb impressions at the back of Gabriel's neck?
Yes. Why weren't the thumbprints in his windpipe?
Oh, what was that?
It's Grace Grayson, Sergeant.
You and Hank Peace didn't mess up Gabriel's footprints in crossing the clearing, did you?
No, Ellery. We detoured, too. Poor Gabriel. I can't believe it yet. Hank, look at him.
The ghost of the strangler, I told you.
Will you stop jabbering about ghosts, Daniel Boone?
You're scared.
Stop it, Hank. What are we going to do? Poor Holder's in a state of collapse. Nicky's trying frantically to calm her down, and that man with us hasn't uttered a word since this happened. Who did it?
Come outside. I want to show you something. Son. The only way Gabriel's murderer could have got into the cave was the way Gabriel got in, by crossing this muddy clearing.
Well,
where are the killer's footprints?
You didn't see no prints in this mud when we got here this morning, except the ones of Gabriel's bare feet, did you?
I see. Obviously, the strangler entered the cave some other way.
How, Grace? The only other opening into the cave is that natural window in the rear wall, which overlooks the lake. That opening is 50 feet above the lake at the top of a sheer cliff.
The roof of the cave. Not a rope down.
We've been up there. It's covered with smooth mud.
And no human foot ever stepped on it.
And at the sides of the cave, it's sheer precipice, too. Oh, well, of course. The killer came here during the rain, which wiped out his prints. Lay in wait for Gabriel, who came when the rain had stopped.
What happened to the prints the killer made leaving?
That's not the important point, Dad. The killer couldn't have got into the cave before Gabriel, Grace. The door was locked with a new lock, and only Gabriel had the key, which is still on his person.
Then the killer used a grappling iron at the end of a strong line.
You mean throw a line up from the lake, Grace?
Yes. Someone stood in a boat on the lake below and threw up a grappling iron which corked the window.
Guess again, Dr. Grayson. An iron would have left scratch marks on the sill of the rocky opening.
And there ain't no scratch marks.
Then how do you explain it?
You're wasting your time. Ghosts don't need grappling irons. They don't leave footprints.
Yes, Grace. Remarkable as it seems, it looks as if Hank Pete is right. In the setup, Hector Gabriel could only have been strangled by a ghost.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Calder, stop. You've been crying a whole day and night.
But they took Hector away, Nicky. Why don't they let me go? I don't want to stay here.
What's the inspector up to? Keeps telephoning.
What's going on, Ellery?
I don't know, Grace. I'm still grappling with the problem of the strangler ghost.
Wait. The moans from the cave again. Oh, don't be silly, Nicky. It's the wind.
The wind, is it? It's the ghost. The ghost who strangled Hector. They can't keep us out here to be murdered. I'm going.
Where are you going, Mrs. Gabriel?
Oh, Dad.
Really shut that door and set your back against it.
Right, Inspector. Ghosts, huh?
Miss Gabriel, did I hear you say you were going somewhere?
Yes, Inspector. Home. And you can't stop me.
Miss Gabriel, I've done a lot of investigating my phone in the past 24 hours. One of the things I've discovered is that your husband was a rich man.
Hector, I suppose so, but...
What is it, Dad?
I've had Gabriel's will checked, Ellery. He leaves nearly his entire estate, worth $2 million, to his wife, Huldah.
You mean you think I killed Hector?
Your husband was almost 20 years older than you, Mrs. Gabriel.
Oh.
Yes, quite possible.
Why, you're crazy. Next thing we know, you'll be accusing me of strangling Gabriel.
Exactly what I had in mind, Mr. Withers.
Wait, what do you mean, Inspector?
You and Gabriel were at each other's throats for over 20 years, Withers. Enemies.
Why, we were friendly enemies.
Also, he owned something you wanted bad, Mr. Withers.
Gabriel's library. The most valuable collection of books on psychic phenomena in the world.
Right, son. One of the things I found out in the past 24 hours is that Gabriel was a psychic library to Ernest Withers.
But that's so absurd, Inspector, to kill a man for possession of some books.
You think so, Dr. Grayson? Maybe you'll agree that your motive was stronger.
My motive? To kill Hector Gabriel?
Dad, Grace involved with Gabriel.
She was his first wife.
Gabriel's first wife? Did you know that, Ellery?
No, I didn't, Nicky. Grace.
Surely you're joking, Inspector.
Depends on your sense of humor, Dr. Grayson. Fact is, Hector Gabriel ditched you to marry Hilda.
And you know what they say about a woman scorned.
So you think I killed Hector out of revenge for having thrown me over? I can see your point, Inspector. Only I didn't.
It's not any one of us. It was the ghost, I tell you. The ghost!
Ah, that ghost story is a lot of camouflage.
Yes. One of you three strangled Gabriel in that cave. Only question is, which one?
Now, who would that be?
Gilly, see what it is.
Right.
No, please don't open it. Oh, it's just old Hank, the woodsman.
What do you want, Pete?
Thought you'd want to know.
We'd want to know what, Hank?
Right at the edge of the woods where you enter the trail from here, just a couple of yards from the lodge, there's a lot of loose stones. Them stones were slippery from the rain.
Yeah?
Alongside them slippery stones is a couple small juniper bushes. They've been smashed flat. I figure it's how this fella Gabriel slipped on them stones on his way to the cave yesterday morning and fell under them junipers.
That's a help, that is.
It certainly is, Sergeant. In fact, it clears up the mystery.
What do you mean, son?
I mean, Dad, that now I know the identity of the ghost of Dead Man's Cavern. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the mystery of Dead Man's Cavern. Have you an answer to it? Well, suppose you compare solutions with our guest armchair detective. Nicky, will you please introduce our guest?
Well, Ellery, our first guest tonight is Miss Marjorie Lawrence, famous metropolitan soprano. Stricken with infantile paralysis a couple of years ago, Miss Lawrence has fought against this dread affliction courageously and successfully, as evidenced by her recent triumph in the role of Isolde at the Met. Our second guest tonight is Mr. Beverly Kelly of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Combined Shows, or, as all America calls it, the Circus, now playing at Madison Square Garden. Mr. Kelly has described the Big Top to millions over the radio and is well-known author of books and stories on circus life. All right, Ellery?
Thanks, Nicky. Miss Lawrence, who strangled Gabriel?
Well, I don't think anyone strangled him. I think that he slipped and fell on those stones under the juniper bushes.
Yes?
I think the moaning sounds came from natural means somehow. The wind through the rocks or something.
Yes?
So that's what I would say.
Well, thank you, Miss Lawrence. And now, Mr. Kelly, who do you think strangled Gabriel?
Well, Ellery, if those footprints outside the cave weren't so small, I think we could blame it on Gargantua. But I think I'm going to put my money on Gabriel's first wife and say that he fell from grace.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Well, how about it, gang? Think you've got the answer? The guests have had their say, and Ellery Queen will tell you the solution in just a few moments. So, to give you a little time to talk it over and make your guesses, here's music by Frank Duval and his orchestra. Soliloquy.
What do you mean? All right, I'll tell you. Now, first, let's lay the ghost. No ghost killed Hector Gabriel. The strangler's hands were human hands. They left human fingerprints deep in the flesh of Gabriel's neck and throat.
Well, sure. That's right. Then those moans we heard must have been made by the wind through the cave, like Dr. Grayson said.
Right, Sergeant. Now, since the strangler had human hands, he also had human feet. And human feet leave prints in mud.
But Ellery, the only footprints in the mud were Gabriel's. One set, ingoing.
I know. Gabriel choked in the woods and then staggered across the clearing alone to the cave to die.
Nicky, you yourself pointed out that the trail left by Gabriel's feet across the mud was perfectly straight. Men dying of strangulation don't walk in a straight line. No. When Gabriel crossed that clearing, unlocked the door, and entered the cave, he was perfectly well. So the murder was committed in the cave. And for the murderer to have choked Gabriel in the cave, he had to get there. Problem. How did the killer cross that muddy clearing without leaving footprints? And the more you think about it, the more obvious the answer gets.
What do you mean?
He crossed it on Gabriel's back.
Gabriel Gabriel carried him. Ellery.
I know, Dad. Other theories are possible, but my theory can be backed up. What was the exact position of the strangler's thumbs on Gabriel's neck?
The thumb marks pointed upwards on the back of Gabriel's neck.
Which is possible only if at the time he committed his crime, the strangler was behind Gabriel. Strong confirmation that the strangler rode across that mud on Gabriel's back. And when Gabriel entered the cave, the person he was carrying began to choke him before even getting down.
Oh, but Maestro, how did the killer make Gabriel carry him?
Important question, Sergeant. Grown men don't play piggyback at 5 o'clock of an Adirondack morning. One person carrying another suggests that the person being carried had to be carried.
An injury?
Yes, Dad. Hank Beach just told us he'd found a place in the trail where someone had slipped on loose, wet stones and fallen into some juniper bushes. Hank opined it was Gabriel, because he thought Gabriel was alone. But since we know Gabriel carried someone, isn't it evident that it wasn't Gabriel who slipped and fell, but his companion?
Killer faked the tumble, pretended to twist his ankle or something, said he couldn't walk. And Gabriel lugged him all the way through the woods to the cave.
Exactly. And why? Deliberately to leave only one set of footprints in that mud, Gabriel's, to make us believe that the murder had been the work of a convenient strangler ghost of the haunted cave.
All right. You've accounted for how the strangler got into the cave without leaving prints.
Yeah, but how did he get out, Maestro, without leaving him after Gabriel was dead?
In the only way possible, through that natural window in the cave wall. Yes, for while no one could have got into the cave through the opening in the cave wall, someone could have got out simply by diving out into the lake below.
What clue did all this, son?
Dad, where did Hank say he found the crushed bushes?
At the edge of the woods as you went to the trail leaving Dr. Grayson's lodge.
Yes. In fact, Hank said it was only a few yards from the lodge. But observe, the killer pretends to injure himself a few yards from the lodge, yet Gabriel carries him all the way through the woods to the cave. Why? Why didn't Gabriel carry him back the few yards to the house? Wouldn't he have done that if, say, his companion had been his wife or Dr. Grayson, or, in fact, anyone except one person?
One person?
There can be only one reason why Gabriel carried his companion all the way to the cave. And that was because he and the killer were bound for the cave. Because he and the killer were supposed to share the cave for the next 24 hours.
Well, I'll be...
Yes. Gabriel's companion, the man who got his victim up an hour earlier than planned on some trumped-up excuse, who wanted to kill Gabriel because he hated him for over 20 years, and because Gabriel had willed him his unique and valuable psychic library, that man could only have been Ernest Withers.
And there you have the solution to the mystery. How did you GI detectives do? Did you have the right answer? Well, we have a few minutes remaining, so here's more music by Frank Duval and his orchestra. Dancing